right. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is DJ Hong, and welcome to CoBeatParty. We've got very, very special guests today, the new Swing Sextet from New York, Florida, and other parts unknown. Along with DJ Gury from Canada, we're going to be playing music, sharing history, laughs, conversation. Right, we're just now getting started, so let's just enjoy this music and tell your friends, share the video, so that folks know to come here. And we'll get started in just about 2 songs. Shout outs to Anya McBrien, Bob Croucher in the house. Thank you guys. Renata in the house. Champagne Sister.
Saludos a todos. Bienvenido.
That was a nice little guajira by
beautiful guajira right there.
The new Swing Sextet from their album Revolucionando from back in the day on Cotique Records.
I got that right here. See there, Hong? I got that right there. See that record?
Me too. Beautiful.
This was the funny story about this. This is the last record that I got to complete my entire new swing collection.
Oh, the collection. Nice.
And I've been short of this one for many years, and because I don't know if a lot of people know this about me, but I'm cheap. So
I never would have guessed.
And I don't like to pay a lot for records. I like to sell them for a lot. I don't like to pay a lot. But the quick story of it is I've been looking for it for many years. I have a friend in New York City, and he's a big record collector of prog rock, jazz, big into Latin stuff. And he picked that up for me at a thrift store for $2. And he mailed it to me last week, and I just received it last week. So
no kidding, you got it just in time, under the wire.
The condition on it's really bad, so I'm looking for an upgrade copy. So if anybody has one out there under a certain amount, please send me a PM.
Yeah, this is a relatively good one. The cover's in good condition. Got the little bullet hole punch out here.
Punch out.
Yeah, it looks like the original.
So I'm very excited about today. Last week, George Rodriguez, my good friend from the new Swing Sextet, they interviewed me on their network, and I wanted to. It gave me an idea that the CoBeatParty that we should get together, and I know you, as well as I, have a strong connection with the band. So I thought it was a beautiful, sort of natural thing that we did this together.
It's super cool. We both have a fairly, long history of talking to these guys. And they're all just like super great gentlemen. It's like the salt of the earth, great musicians, funny as hell.
Oh yeah.
I think we'll get a taste of that in a second. I'm looking at them backstage and they're all like making faces and stuff like that. So,
apparently Jimmy has arrived. Jimmy's arrived.
I see you, Angel. Why don't we play one more song as we just like make sure we post this video so that as many people as possible can see it. Remember, we are interviewing the new Swing Sextet live here on CoBeatParty. DJ Gury, DJ Hong. I'm from Philadelphia. Gury is from Guelph, Ontario, Canada. And I'm gonna play something from their most recent release called Lo que traigo, is the album, and I'm gonna do something fun. I'm gonna play a little. I think I'm gonna play a little Mambo Italiano by our friend Angel Luis Justiniano, and everyone tune in. And for all the guys who are listening, our musicians. Just to let you know, so that we can avoid getting cut off by Facebook, I may speed up the music a bit. So I just apologize if it sounds a little funny. That's just my personal thing to help keep us on the air, because otherwise we have to rebuild the audience, and it's kind of a pain in the butt. But here we go with a little Mambo Italiano.
A boy went back to Napoli.
Oh, that's a little fast.
No, that's way fast. I put it on 45.
Actually, that's going to lead me into my first question since you're playing this, and it has to do with the 45 of this very song. So,
okay. Well, I'm going to drop it back down to 33 RPMs. This is real life. This is real live streaming. Anything can happen. It's a show. We're trying to put on a show. Okay, that's a little more rational tempo. Who else do we got? Oh, we got
next.
We got a lot of comments. We got a lot of people in.
I know. We need Nicole around to keep track of our comments.
Yeah, that's a good reminder. We have John, Marushkin, Jill in the house. A lot of European representation. We've got Ivana from Taiwan in the house.
And Ramiro from Toronto.
Oh, hello, Ramiro.
He's the conguero at La Rumba Buena.
Nice. We got We got Sanji in the house. Yeva, DJ Minis from Vilnius, Lithuania. Oh, DJ Boricua from Mexico. Cesar Armando Liga Carmen. I have to find out why Cesar is DJ Boricua, despite being from Mexico. Rumbera La Andaluza in the house from Germany. Paula Mara. Ricardo Silva from Portugal. We got a good crowd. Lala from Paris and Sweden and many other countries. Carlos Guate DJ from Chicago in the house.
Saludos, Carlos. And I think Lala's currently living in Stockholm. She wrote that the other day.
All over the place. World traveler. I'm very jealous. Felipe Ku, DJ Felipe Ku, one of the top DJs in Mexico in the house. Tuned in. All right, I think that kind of catches up. Have we shared this on Facebook yet? No, I think we need to share the video on the event page. So why don't you talk a little bit while I do some sharing? Very. You there?
Yeah. Totally here.
Yeah, talk to us a bit about your history with the new Swing Sextet.
Oh, long history. I remember when I started my radio show back in the early 2000s, I picked up a CD. Vampy Soul had re-released a CD, a greatest hits CD from the new Swing Sextet, and I reached out to George Rodriguez. I found his email through through a Yahoo group, through one of my friends there, and he graciously accepted my invitation to be interviewed by some crazy Canadian guy who played salsa music in the early 2000s. And we talked a few years later. Fast forward, I was DJing in a festival in Chicago, and one of the bands was the new Swing Sextet. So I got to meet George. I think Angel was there. It was a different lineup at that time. I think maybe Cheo Medina was in the band at that time, and we met, we hung out, and struck up a friendship. Fast forward a few years later, a mutual friend of Hong and I, Kevin, who lived in San Francisco and Toronto, he was in New York City, went into a bar, New Swing Sextet were playing live, told them they were from Canada, and one of them mentioned, "Oh, you must know DJ Goody Goody." And he's like, "Oh yeah, he's a good friend of mine, we hang out." they gave me this CD signed. Can't really see it. It's the Yesterday Today one, and brought it back. And him and I started discussing about bringing the band to Canada. A couple years later, they played in my home bar where I host Salsa at the E-Bar, and also my good friend and one of the CoBeat co-founders, Jim DeVoe, Salsa Jim, helped me make that happen. And they also went to Ottawa, and later came back, went to Guelph, Toronto, and Montreal. So I can fit that all in the Mambo Italiano song. And I can mention that I don't think they didn't play this song because it was pre the album coming out. The only one that was out at that time was a single, which I have around here somewhere. But
what I love about this one, and I'm going to ask Angel about this, is, the band's connection to like Boogaloo and kind of Latin soul, which is kind of like how the band got started. So
yes.
I would love to definitely explore that a bit. One of the songs that they play live and do a great version is "I Like It Like That," the great Boogaloo classic by Pete Rodriguez, of course. And it always brings the house down when Angel is doing that show. I just love that.
And let's not forget that they also did a Boogaloo Monkey See, Monkey Do, right? So
I may pull it out. I have it on 45 right here.
That's the European reissue. Eat a Banana.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, I think we've got our crowd. Got a good number of people, about 38 people watching right now. And so why don't we? I'm gonna do this fancy. I want to introduce the band one by one, or we can introduce the band one by one, just like they do on stage, just so everyone gets a moment to say hi and what instrument they play. Unfortunately, I don't think anyone has their instruments. So, who should we start with?
I have some of their instruments here, actually.
You're gonna play their instruments for them. That's
this microphone here is the one that Orlando Ortiz sang from at the E-Bar at his 2 shows here in Guelph. I have the bongos.
Unfortunately, Orlando's the only. Orlando and Hector are the two who are not here. So let's start with. I got my mouse on Mr. He plays the timbal. His name is Mr. Jimmy Figueroa. What's up, Jimmy?
All right, Jimmy, my brother. What's up?
Long time no see.
Oh yeah, I miss you guys. Also, I'd like to mention that Jimmy also plays in a band out of New York, New Jersey called Cubano Son, which are an awesome band. They had a few CDs out with Jose Papa Ortega, right, Jimmy?
Yes, sir.
And also, are you still playing with? Oh my God, now I forgot. With the
Siete con Calle.
The other Ortiz.
Yeah, Siete con Calle. Arturo Ortiz.
Siete con Calle, yeah. Awesome. So he is also very active musically in the local scene.
Awesome. And well, let's move on to our next person we want to introduce on the Los Blancos y Los Negros. The man, Mr. Connell Fawkes, on the piano.
Hey,
What's
How you
up?
doing, Connell?
Jimmy, how are you, brother?
What's up, Conal? How are you?
Thanks for the invitation. It's great to see everybody.
Absolutely.
And good thing about Connell's amazing piano player when he bangs out those solos. Incredible. Just incredible. And he likes a good pint.
Oh, yes.
And special claim to fame, or not claim to fame, claim to infamy. He's the only member of the new Swing Sextet not on Facebook. I think he has like a Facebook page, but not an actual Facebook account. So you're gonna have to follow him on YouTube or Instagram
Twitter.
or something like that. Oh, Twitter. That was right.
And Grammy, not only Grammy nominated, but Grammy winner.
Yeah, and
Yes.
and you can catch him playing, I believe, with the Woody Allen Jazz Band. Is that right?
That is right. Yeah.
So,
the Capricorn. Let's hope that all starts up again.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we're going to move to Mr. Conga and Mr. Boogaloo singer himself, Angel Luis Justiniano, in the house.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. How are you, Hung? How are you, Mr. Gury?
What's up,
Kono,
Angelito?
Kono, Jimmy, I haven't seen you in ages.
I'm here, Papi, waiting.
Oh, my God. God bless you. God bless you. Nice seeing you guys.
Are you guys not getting together and practicing?
We don't even practice talking. No,
We barely recognize each other.
No, there's a couple of things in the pipelines that we're working on, but we'll talk a little later on things that we're gonna do.
For sure. Let's do that.
But yeah, I miss these guys. So it's good that we're doing this because otherwise I don't see their faces.
All right.
Glad we could help.
All right, we're going to move to the other Justiniano brother in the new Swing Sextet. It's Mr. Bass, El Bajo, Harry Justiniano.
Oh, there he is.
What's up, Harry?
Harry,
Harry.
miss you, my brother. God bless you.
Harry is such a great man. An incredible bass player. Just when you walk into a room and the new Swing Sextet's playing, you hear everything during those solos. You hear Cornell banging it out. But what I really hear is just that solid bass in the back of the stage, just killing it in his baby bass. How you doing, brother?
The baby sit-down bass.
Also, for a while, Harry was musical director for Wayne Gorbea.
Yeah, we're going to talk about some of these other records that these guys are on. All right, and without further ado, the original founding member of the new Swing Sextet, Mr. Vibraphone, George Rodriguez. Wait, where'd he go?
You got shy.
Wait, did I? Oh, you know what? I might have clicked on kick him out.
You kicked him.
Someone better go get George on the horde.
Yeah,
Oh wait, there he is.
They just got everybody backstage.
All right, so we gotta build him up again. So he founded this band in the mid '60s, and here he's back, Mr. George Rodriguez.
Come on, Jimmy, hit the cowbell.
How you guys doing?
How's the weather out there, Georgie?
I heard your little story about Harry and the bass. Yeah, man. Bass is the number one instrument. In band. It carries everything. And what makes Harry's bass playing so beautiful is that he realizes that he's holding everything up, and he just plays that tumbao really solid, and it just makes it easy for us to write on. And so I've been working with Harry for a long time. Love you, bro.
Yeah.
Angelito.
I love you too, Papa.
Mr. Kono Fox.
All right, and we have
I'm getting
two
a little
other.
bit of static here.
Yeah, this is live streaming, so anything can happen. Everyone's got a bunch of different.
Somebody's not using headphones,
systems.
so we're getting some echo from them.
Yeah, so what I'm gonna suggest is everyone use headphones. Yeah, the headphones will help.
Knocking on the door.
All right. Also,
And we're missing.
George plays an interesting instrument. I just want to, I talked about it to everyone. George plays an interesting instrument, the vibraphone. If you ever bring the new Swing Sextet to your town, it is one of the hardest things to secure for a gig. What do you think, George?
It is. I heard everything until it is.
It's one of the hardest instruments to secure for a concert.
It is.
The vibraphones are the hardest thing to get.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, it is really, really hard.
We should bring Edgar in to talk about that.
And not only that, they're big and clumsy. It's a mess.
But sweet sounds.
God, that. Yeah, we did first time we went to Colombia a couple of years ago, to Edgar's great show, Leyendas
Viva.
Viva de la Salsa.
Yes. We lost Georgie.
Uh-oh. Florida has those weak internet connections.
Yeah, a little hurricane just went by.
The hurricane went by. See, he should have stayed in New York State with you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like George is he's the one member, right, who's out of state, right? Oh no, Orlando.
Orlando
and
George.
Orlando the singer is who is going to hopefully join us later, and George.
Yeah, Orlando's trying to get in, by the way.
Oh, okay. Cool.
He just sent me a text just before it cut out. So I know he's sniffing around the door.
Yeah,
like looking in the back window.
Typical singer. He can't find the key and he doesn't know when to come in.
Yeah. Nice little musician joke there, Connell. I got you. All right. Well, why don't we play a little music while we try to get Orlando in here? I'm gonna play. This is on your 45 release of Los Ritmos Mejores and Maybe Then. And by the way, we put out a poll for like your favorite new Swing Sextet songs, and Maybe Then is, I think, far and away one of the most favorite songs. So we'll come back to that one, Angel, and you can talk about your vocal on that beautiful song.
I just want to comment on this song because I hated this song when I first heard it.
Which one? Maybe Then, or
yes, I hated it.
What?
I was like, I was very anti-salsa in English as as an Anglophone. The song just really upset me, and when they told me it was going to be the B-side of the 45, I was upset, and it was like, I'm a drama queen, and what turned me on this was the new Swing Sextet were playing at the E-Bar the first time through here, and Angel got to the microphone, and he was gonna, doing his intro to it, and I'm like, okay, now's the time to go to the bar, grab a beer, I'll get one for Connell, and we'll get it sorted. And he broke into it, and he just floored me and killed me with it live. And from that day forward, it has been a staple at all of our gigs. And also my partner in crime, DJ Tarek, he also loved it previous to that and would play it all the time. And now at all of our weekly vinyl socials, we drop this track, and it's a crowd favorite.
Everyone loves it, and especially in English-speaking countries. So we're gonna go ahead and play. I was gonna play Ritmos Mejores, but and save Maybe Then for later. But let's just do it, man. Let's give the people what they want. So this is Maybe Then from the album. Gosh, what was the name of this album?
Yesterday.
This was Yesterday, Today, Tomorrow, right? I keep forgetting because I'm looking at this like 45 and I got confused about which album it came from. All right, and yeah, Gury was holding the CD there. Here we go with Maybe Then, and just again, trigger warning: this is played a little faster than normal to avoid Facebook cutoffs. So here we go. Wait, can you hear any music?
Yeah, we can hear it.
All right, great. Oh wait. Sorry, let me restart that. I think I mixed two songs together.
Yeah, the intro.
He gave you guys the remix. Sorry. Shitty DJ. I'm going to put you all on mute during the song. But you guys can, do your air piano, air
Feel
conga,
free to
air conga.
Feel free to dance.
Tonight, I want to hear you say we were meant to last forever and a day. Your love, I can feel it in my soul. There's never been a moment quite like this, so baby, hold on. Let's strip the lights, fantastic girl, it's you that I've been waiting for. So have no fear, because you're everything I've always wanted. But if you're feeling me the way I'm feeling you, then baby, let your love flow. Come on, let it go. just want to have you, baby, for my own. 'Cause I long to be your only man. Querido amor, yo quiero que tú siempre estés conmigo. Solamente tú y yo en el amor hasta el amanecer. The stars forever in your eyes will shine in all its glory. But first you got to wake me up and tell me I'm not dreaming then. Let your love flow, come on, let it go. Let your feelings show, maybe then, maybe then, maybe then. Let your mind free, come on, let it be. Think of you and me, maybe then, maybe then, maybe then. You understand just why I'm the way that I am, yeah, and that I'll do anything to be your man, yeah, let your love go. Girl, you're driving me crazy. Come on, let's dance. Let your love flow, come on, let it go. Let your feelings show, maybe then, maybe then, maybe then. Let your mind free, come on, let it be. Think of you and me, maybe then, maybe then, maybe then. There's never been a moment quite like this, so baby, hold on. Let's trip the lights, fantastic girl, it's you that I've been waiting for. So have no fear, because you're everything I've always wanted. But if you're feeling me the way I'm feeling you, then maybe let your love flow. Come on, let it go. Let your feelings show, maybe then, maybe then, maybe then. Let your mind free, come on, let it be. Think of you and me, maybe then, maybe then, maybe then. Let your love flow, come on, let it go. Let your feelings show, maybe then, maybe then, maybe then. Let your mind free, come on, let it be. Think of you and me, lady, maybe then.
All right. Yes, the great, great tune from that album, Yesterday, Today, Tomorrow, with Angel Luis Justiniano on the vocals. Everyone loves that song, man. And, you know,
It is definitely a crowd favorite.
brought you
Yep.
back into the spotlight. Angel,
Well,
you
I
want
had
to talk
to
to us
work long
about
and
singing that
hard.
song?
George?
Yeah, I was just going to say before
Yeah.
you talk, Angel, people don't realize how long I had to work with Angel to get him to sound the way he did, and he finally got it.
Were you
know,
like
although-
his producer, like his vocal coach?
I'm his,
like,
yeah, I'm his vocal
like more in the back of the throat, you know, like, oh,
coach. Yeah.
lift your diaphragm, you know.
Yes.
He has some really, really good pointers. You know, if you ever heard George singing Belinda,
That's right. Okay.
you can tell where I got those high notes.
Oh my God, that hurts, man.
I kind of want to hear George sing now.
Okay, George. Next album, George is singing.
If you're not familiar with it, I'll send you the tune.
Oh boy.
You know, that tune maybe then was actually given to us by a very, very good friend of ours, Raheem, who is the leader of the GQ from the disco era, a lot of Gury knows who GQ is.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's a very good friend of ours, and that was a tune that he composed and wrote, and actually sent it to Enrique Iglesias. And Enrique Iglesias never got back to him. And he asked me, Angel, do you think you could do something with this tune? And I heard it. I love the words. Actually, Raheem has a really, really good style of writing music. So it had this little undertone of salsa in it. So Mr. Joe Manazzi took it and put together a really, really good arrangement. And these guys put a really, really good taste to it. And it really makes me sound really good.
That's Joe from Mambo Negro.
That's Joe
And from New Swing, yeah.
And from New Swing,
New Swing.
and also from Típica 73, if people don't know.
Yeah, I didn't know he was in Típica.
Joe Manazzi was the first trumpet player for Típica 73 when they first started. But getting back to maybe then, this tune, you know, is a funny thing. We were playing in the Netherlands one time, and we were doing maybe then. And this guy comes and he stands in front of the band and he's just staring and staring and staring. When I finish the tune, he comes up to me and he tells me, I can't believe that you're singing that tune. I always thought that it was a girl that sang that tune. And I said, I don't know if it's just a compliment or what, but no, this is me.
I'm wondering if you like broke his dreams. Like he's been thinking like, who's this beautiful angel who's singing?
Yes.
Yeah, that was so funny. But yeah, no, that tune is it got very popular, especially like in Russia. When we played in Siberia, and the same in when we did it over in Kokomos, which was a great video that you did of New Swing when we did the concert in Kokomos. You know that was one of the best sounding recordings that we ever did of maybe that.
You have
That was Mauricio, the engineer,
Mauricio Acevedo, Mo, as we call him,
Mo.
to thank. Great sound engineer, good friend, good person.
Incredible sound engineer. You know, shout out to Mauricio if he's watching.
I'm gonna drop the link, but he actually, I think you may have seen this on Facebook, like about a week or two ago. He posted like almost a full-length concert video where you guys came to San Francisco Salsa Festival by John and Liz, and he recorded the concert like with the sound from the board, and so it's kind of like nice. He gets up real close. And you know, you can see guys singing and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's excellent.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, why don't we move on to either some more music, or Gury, we have some questions from the audience you want to take, or where should we take this?
Well, we had a request for playing My Favorite Things, and I wanted to. I got a lot of requests for that track. Of course, obvious that it's the very famous One Done.
It's the first New Swing Sextet song I ever heard.
Yeah, that. Oh, nice. And Mambo Negro also did a great version of this that a lot of people don't know the arrangements of this one from the CD Midnight Mosaic. We're going to drop that for somebody that Bob. I think Bob wanted to hear it, so we'll give it for Bob, who is listening in the UK. No, Hong?
Yeah, and after you play that, I'd love to hear from the guys who were involved with Mambo Negro a little bit about the story of Mambo Negro.
I always think that this is kind of the precursor to the current lineup of New Swing, because it featured a lot of the people that weren't in it at the early version of the band. And Hell came in, Hector, and also George at this time. Is that correct? Or Harry? Sorry, not George.
Harry, yeah. And no, that's right. It was Angel, Harry, and Hector. Yeah.
I mean, they were. And Hell was there for Puerto Rico, correct?
Oh, yes. You're talking about the original when we recorded it in the mid-'70s. Yes.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to drop that one right now, and then we'll get back to some conversation with the new Swing Sextet. If you have any questions, just put them in the chat, and we'll get started asking them questions from the audience.
That's the wrong track. It's a great tune, but it's the wrong track.
I figured that one out. right, a bit of a different version
Beautiful.
than a lot of people are used to with the new swing, but that one is incredible from the Midnight Mosaic CD, Mambo Negro. And also, these two CDs, I remember George was gracious enough to send them to me many years ago, and they've gotten a lot of great play out of them. So thank you, George, for that. And also featuring Hector on timbales there as well. So he was his kind of intro.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yep.
And Joe Manazzi Jr. and Joe Manazzi playing piano and keyboards. So.
Yep.
Mosaic CD. Mambo Negro. Oh, we got a little bit of a delay going on there. Okay, Hong.
Yeah, I just want to say that there's
also featuring Hector on timbales.
Oh, someone is listening to the Facebook tab, so you might want to turn off the Facebook tab, or at least turn the audio off the Facebook tab, so that you don't have like that weird lag and echo. Yeah, we had a shout out to you guys. Un saludos from Venezuela, Mr. Cheo Navarro from Grupo Mango and Bailatino.
Wow, Grupo Mango.
And also I believe El Trabuco Venezolano. So great musician from Venezuela.
Absolutely.
Offering his respects to you guys.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
A little historical context on that, my favorite things. When we first recorded that song, it was on the Swinging Along album, I believe. I guess 1969. We had just finished recording the album, and the producer wanted one more song on the album. That's the one, yeah. The producer wanted one more song on the album, and we didn't have any more tunes. But we have been messing around at rehearsals with my favorite things, just not to record it, but just, so while we're setting up, while we're breaking down, sometimes just to take a break. So we slowly developed a little rough working arrangement. And when Mr. Goldner, the producer, when he asked for one more song, and we kind of got caught with our pants down, we said, what about my favorite things? So we laid the track down, and I mean, it was okay, but we never played the song again because it was just a fill-in on that particular album. And then many years ago, 40 years after that, is when we started finding out that people were interested in our music from Europe, and the tune in particular was My Favorite Things. And so that's one thing that we started playing the song again because people were asking for it, but we never really had it. And I don't even think we ever played it at a gig, to be honest with you. Now, when we did the Mambo Negro version, that's around the time that we met Mr. Henry Knowles, the great DJ who was our manager for the first couple of years and kind of, gave us a direction and helped us get there. We had just started playing My Favorite Things because we said, gee, if people are interested in this tune, so we made the arrangement a little more sophisticated, which is what you heard. There's a few more turns, a few more wrinkles. The original My Favorite Things was kind of simple and straight along. So when we started playing, and then we recorded the tune with Mambo Negro, when booked to go on our first tours to the West Coast by the late great promoter, Mr. Albert Torres, Henry told us, because Henry had heard the new version, and since Henry had asked for my favorite, when he came looking for us around the early 2000s, as Mambo Negro, we were playing as this group at the South Street Seaport in New York, and then somebody, one of the waiters there said, a guy left a card for you week, and the name was Henry Knowles. I didn't remember him from when we worked in the 70s. So anyway, when I called Henry back, he said, you're the same group that recorded My Favorite Things. And I told him, yeah, but what's it to you? So that's when he started saying that it had become a big hit in Europe. So now all of a sudden, when Henry's got us a couple of nice gigs, in particular the one with Mr. Albert Torres, so we, said to us, so gee, we have an even better version of My Favorite Things, and we're ready to debut it. And before we played, Henry said, the version of My Favorite Things that you guys just did, that you and that you played at one or two gigs that I got you in the city, is a real nice version. But Albert wants the original version because he said that's what, and he was 100% right. He said that's the version that people are used to. So we dusted off the fancy arrangement and went back to the original simple arrangement, and that's what we've been playing since we've been together. So
That's really interesting. I
And
can.
the
And I
current
definitely
one you're
remember hearing
playing, the current one you guys are playing live, I find it's a little bit longer than the original, and a lot more
the
breaks.
original.
And Connell takes some killer solos.
Yeah, the original, when we recorded it, I believe it was under 3 minutes. And, way back then, most of the songs were 2.5, 3 minutes because you couldn't get airplay if it wasn't that short. So on that one, we do the song, and the only solo that we have is the vibe solo, which is relatively short. Now we're playing the song, but yes, it has a piano solo, it has a vibe solo, which is a little longer. So it kind of doubles the length of the song. We were playing it more the way we would play a song live. But in those days, especially, like I said, we had never really played that song when we recorded it. So we wanted to keep it as simple as possible so that we wouldn't screw it up. So there it is.
I don't think you could screw it up, guys.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, this was the first New Swing Sextet song I heard, and it would have been right around that time that it's getting airplay again through Henry and other DJs in New York City and in Europe, which is around when I was like starting salsa dance, and I was like, wow, what a great band. And then just a few years later, I had the honor and the blessing of seeing you guys at this club in Berkeley in San Francisco called the Shattuck Down Low.
Oh, wow.
Through invitation of DJ Fab Fred. I think Henry was there as well. But
Felipe, el de la clave.
Felipe, el de la clave, was there. And what an incredible show that was. And that just cemented in my mind that you guys are like such a great dancer band. And that like everyone was just hooked, like from the first note to the last, everyone was just filling the dance floor and feeling your groove. So it was an amazing moment. I feel like it was a historic moment in my salsa life, for sure.
Cool. That was a wonderful gig.
Yeah, and in fact, I've got. I want to actually go back to that picture I flashed on screen. DJ Nuno Melo from Portugal.
Cheers to Nuno.
Yeah, he shared this photo with us, and it I think is actually it looks like the Mambo Negro, or it's like kind of a hybrid lineup because you got the. Oh,
yeah.
Wait, is that Harry?
No,
That's Harry.
Oh,
It's Harry on him.
I'll tell you where that is. That's when Henry had a place. Which was it? I think it was called the Flamenco Club.
It's called the Flamingo.
The Flamingo downtown. Yeah, and we played at his place. Yes, that's I'm gonna say like 2004, something like that.
Yeah, April 2004 is what it says right there.
Okay.
And Nuno was lucky to have been there. That's what he said.
Wow.
And you see there on the left, or sorry, no, Angel, you look different. Behind the car.
I took a haircut and I bathed. So.
All the way to the left. That's Joe Manazzi.
On the piano.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And is that Tommy Lopez on
Tommy
the?
Lopez.
Martin Lopez. Yes.
The great Tommy Lopez. Yeah.
Who was on the comeback record back on the streets.
Yes.
And then after he left, Jimmy came in. Right?
Yes.
That was when you came in, Jimmy.
Yes, sir.
How did what was it like? Like I feel like we tend to talk a lot to George and Angel, so I'm gonna pull in Jimmy for a second. Talk to us about like joining the New Swing Sextet. Like, what did that mean to you? What was your? How did you get the gig? Like, what was the story?
I'll tell you, it was like it was timing. I had just recorded my second CD with Chara and Salsa, and then we had a little falling out. And right around that time, Tommy was having problems making a lot of the gigs, and I would fill in for him every once in a while. but then it got to a point where he couldn't do a lot of the big gigs. So then they decided to replace him. And I had just left Charan Salsa. I went to see them at in Spanish Harlem. What's the name of that place? 108 Lounge. And that's when I met them, and they welcomed me. And ever since, it's like a family. They treated me like one of their kids. Not, when I'm getting old, I see I'm getting the grades.
I think you're still in the kids tier, though. Like,
No, he graduated over. You know why? He's a grandfather now.
Yes, sir.
He just became
oh, okay. He
first-time
doesn't have to sit at the kids'
Congratulations.
table anymore.
That's it. He's not a kid anymore.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's even the youngest in the band, though, is he?
I think so.
Close. I'm not sure how old Orlando is. But,
Well, maybe between you and Conal, right? You guys are going to have to go to the back and figure that one out. So look it out.
Yeah.
See who comes out.
55. I don't know what Coleman is, but
So I got one more question for.
right. You beat me.
So I got one more question for Jimmy. Of the songs that you recorded with New Swing, what is your favorite personal song that you've recorded? Because I want to play your favorite song for the crowd.
That's a good one.
Put you on the spot.
Yeah, I mean that song that was dedicated to Carjader. That I like that song a lot. On the new CD. That's Los Vibes.
Los Vibes, yes. And there was a request for Los Vibes, actually.
Yes, there was a request, and that's actually probably my favorite track on the LP as well.
Gury, do you have it handy? You want to drop that?
I can the LP somewhere in this mess, but I got the CD handy.
Oh wait,
you got it?
Oh wait, I was just playing this album, so I can just play.
Okay, my CD's still sealed, so
Don't open it.
it's going to be worth thousands.
It'll be worth something sometime. Yeah, I actually want to talk about like the whole like craziness and like record prices after we play this song. But we're gonna start with Jimmy Figueroa, the timbalero of New Swing Sextet, and his favorite track, Los Vibes. Here we go, by special request as well.
All right, beautiful track.
Sweet track and sweet timbal breakdown
Jimmy.
there by Mr. Jimmy Figueroa in the top left corner.
Thank you.
Great job, Jimmy. And that record came out on Amanco Records out of Italy. How did the hookup come with Alexio?
Angel, you want to take it out?
Yeah, that was a tune that Alexio from Italy, one of the founders of Abanico Records, had spoke to us about, that he was working with what's the piano player's name, George? Do you remember him?
You mean in Italy?
Yeah.
Isn't it Puma or something? Marco?
Yeah, Marco Puma. Yeah, they were fooling around with the tune, and there was a mixture of a whole bunch of other tunes like "Night in Tunisia," and they liked the dansong beat, and they put this together and sent it over to George. Again, we send it to our savior, Mr. Joe Manazzi, and Joe Manazzi put a couple of little cute twist on it, and behold, that's what came out, and it happens to be one of my favorite also.
Yeah, and our history with Alexio goes back to around 2014. He took us to Italy, and that's when we met him, and they were so nice to us, all the guys over there and some of the ladies, and we maintained dialogue with him. And then maybe around 2016 or 17, he said, are you guys planning to record again? And we told him that we were, and he says, well, we're putting a label together, would you guys be interested in recording with us? So we took it back and forth, and that's how we started our relationship with Abanico Records. And it's been a real great relationship. And yes, that's a song that they wrote for us. It's funny, we're in the middle of finishing up the last tunes that we needed for the Lo Que Te Traigo CD, and then Alexio sends this over. He said, would you guys consider recording this? And I listened to it. I said, wow, that's the way we play. That's us right there. So it was a very easy tune to record, and really, really nice. And Jimmy, I agree. Jimmy did such a great job, because when Joe finished up his arrangement, Joe Manazzi, where the drums comes in, to me it was reminiscent of a solo that Willie Bobo took with Cal Jader. I think it was the Night in Tunisia cut, and I said, that's how I heard it in my head, and somehow the way Jimmy played it's just like he was reading my mind. It just, everything fits right perfectly. Just so. And I love Conal solo. Well, everybody loves Conal solo. And I love,
very jazzy.
Yeah, real jazzy. Oh.
And we got to welcome somebody to the stream. And the vocalist on that track, Los Vibes.
Pepe.
Yeah, you sounded good there, Orlando. You really sounded good. What a
My brother, Orlando Ortiz, looking happy.
Orlando.
Brother, how's it going?
Yeah, I think he's
I
muted.
don't know if you guys can hear me, but I can hear anything. I can hear like a lion.
A lion
in a cage somewhere. I don't know.
It's good, guys. We can just unload on him now. Tell him how you feel exactly.
Orlando's upset that baseball season has ended.
Talking crap about me? I can hear you, but I can hear them.
You heard that, right?
They are talking crap about me, right?
You heard that,
Yes,
right?
you guessed it.
Well,
we got a license to kill, bro.
But I can hear anybody. I can hear like lions. It's not clear what they're saying.
It is. Lions
It
staring you
can't
up,
be
bro.
that important anyway.
Okay, Orlando, why don't you close your web browser and open a new web browser? Come back, and maybe that will
Come back
fix it.
again. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
Yeah,
Bye.
He can hear you.
Everyone
can
say
hear
bye.
you.
Thanks for the
We'll
warning.
miss you. We'll miss you. Bye.
The great Orlando Ortiz. Se fue.
You only make fun of the people that you love, right?
Orlando's another one, great man. So, all the guys here are. I'm lucky enough to know them and have shared on different times. So a lot of moments with them. One of them was I took them on an extended car ride to Ottawa, Ontario, and it's about. I think I told George it was maybe 2 hours, and it turned out to be 6.
Yes. I know. I heard about it on the ride all the way up. I said, bro, it's Canadian time.
Orlando, can you hear now?
I can hear better now.
All right, Orlando, brother, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
It's good. It's good to see you.
But I was doing some Christmas decoration in the house, and I forgot. I'm sorry. I didn't forget. I didn't know that was already sold that late. So
I'm gonna have to.
What were they saying? Good to see you, Hung and Gury. So good
All
to see
right.
you guys.
Good to see you.
And you ladies too.
Be nice.
Even Connell is on today.
He opened the show up, bro.
We did?
Yeah.
They did. And looks like our haircuts, you, me, Hong, and Cornell and Orlando, we got the haircut.
Yes. Very close.
Monopoly. It's the Monopoly.
All the people without hair at the top.
Los calvos.
Listen, just for the record, I have all my hair. I just choose to shave it.
Yeah.
Me too.
I do. No, serious.
Yeah.
I'm not bald.
Hey, just for the record, I'm 6'7", but I always dug down.
I could have an afro in 2 weeks if I want to.
Yeah.
All right.
I'd say that's a challenge.
So the challenge is on.
Let's go.
We're going to be back here.
I'm on the show in 2 weeks.
We'll have a reunion in 2 weeks. Orlando, we want to see your hair in 2 weeks.
There's a picture of you from a few years ago, and it's the same haircut. I don't think there's an afro there.
No, listen to me. 2009 or 7, that's when I decided to shave my hair. It's not because I was losing my hair.
Oh.
Likely story. That's when we met him in 2009.
You can see the line.
No.
I
see that.
No, you're
Bro,
you're done.
That's a sibling right there.
Oh man. Okay. Hey,
Dios
Gury,
mío,
we have another guest in the backstage. Do we want to?
Is it who I'm thinking of?
It might be who you're thinking of.
All right, so we have a special guest that wants to come in, say hello, and has a few questions. This gentleman was instrumental in helping me bring you guys to Canada the first time, and we did a show in his city. So, and CoBeat founder as well of this great network. So let's give it up for Salsa Jim DeVoe, right there. Oh my God!
What's up, Jim?
Jimbo.
The other Jimmy.
Good morning, everyone. So happy to see you all. Look at what I have of you guys here.
Wow.
Got your CD.
Closer to you, Jim. We can't see it. Oh, look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Hang on, let me feature him.
No wonder I can't play my drums.
George.
There's George's vibes.
In case you were looking for a missing...
I think I have the other
Jim,
one.
was that in the contract that you get to take a piece of all of their instruments or something?
Yeah, this guy
was part of it.
Do you have the mic that I gave you?
I'm talking on it right now, buddy.
All right.
But great to see you guys, gentlemen. It's been fantastic. I miss you guys dearly, and I always look back the experience that we had when we brought you guys to Ottawa. And to be honest, I have a couple of videos that Orlando was singing, serenading actually to the dancers in Ottawa, and it's just amazing how the energy was there. And I have a video of me and my partner dancing. I won't post it up, but maybe I should. But it's just great memory, guys, and so glad to see you guys are doing very well, and very happy to be here.
Yeah.
Likewise.
Thank you.
That was a special night.
That was indeed. Where's Harry? Is he busy with the kids and grandsons?
No, actually, Harry's having a little problem with the connection. He keeps getting bumped out. I don't know why. Maybe Facebook may want to put him in jail.
I think it's Orlando's fault.
No, I think he's cooking. He's always cooking.
No, he's having a problem with his connection, and so is Hector. Actually, he's been trying to get on.
Okay.
Hector's always late.
Yeah, I saw Hector for like 1 second, and then he just was looking really like confused, and then he just disappeared.
Yeah, he's
Wanna
a
get-
very good individual.
A couple of people chiming in with some shouts out. We want Julian from La Excelencia. Cheers. He's saying hi to everybody. The great New York City Orchestra. And Colombian. Yes, great guy. Also, our good friend from Cali, Colombia, El Chino.
El Chino.
That's right,
Philip.
Chino.
How are you doing, brother?
So the big shouts out to them tuned in on the CoBeat Network here. Hey Jim, you got a question lined up, buddy?
Wow. Yeah. The question was. I have so many questions actually. First and foremost, how's everybody doing? Health-wise?
Thank God.
All good.
Good.
Excellent.
Good.
Good to hear. That's,
Believe it or not, and I'm not joking because I tend to joke around, but I
Really?
right now
Right.
I'm testing positive for COVID.
Really?
oh
yeah.
no.
It's been today's the 12th day since the positive test. I'm waiting for a new test result either tomorrow or the following day. I've had zero symptoms, and I mean nothing. I feel great.
Oh, wow.
So
Good.
and my wife tested negative,
Oh wow. That's
and
strange.
we're never out of each other's sight. So it's a mystery to me, but I feel great, and I've been great, and everything's good. But
God bless.
I am in fact positive
God bless.
right now. Yeah,
Knock on wood.
Good
Well,
to hear, Kono.
hope
crazy.
you recover
Good.
completely.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
We're glad to hear you're doing well and have no symptom though.
Yeah,
So the
yeah.
question I have for the band. Do you guys got anything in the works?
Yeah, we've been kicking a couple of
really.
things around it. But yeah, we hope that we have the vaccine coming very soon.
Yes.
So as soon as that comes, maybe we can get back together again. But we're not losing our hope. It's been 55 years this band has been kicking around. So at this point, we're not ready to give in yet. We haven't given in to all the years that the music has been changing. We're not going to change it now. So yeah, no, we have a couple of things. We not materializing yet, but we've been talking about a couple of things that may happen.
That is awesome.
Something may come up where we're doing a little extended play recording, maybe 4 tunes, 5 tunes. But that yet needs to be cultured a little bit.
Right.
I mean, I've seen like a lot of, not a lot, but some number of bands are doing like these, virtual music videos, right? Where everyone records their part to a click track, and then someone like splices it all together. And like that's kind of in the era of COVID. That's how like bands are like staying together and keeping their fans kind of engaged. Well, first of all, hopefully you can see how many fans. I mean, you guys already know this, but here in the chat, the chat rooms just go crazy with so many people who love you guys and love your music. So just know that you are loved, and everyone wants to see you real soon. And in the meantime, we listen to your music. We're happy to have you come and talk to us whenever you want to talk to us, even just to hang out, or if you want to announce something new. We're always here for you to get your message out. So people love you guys.
Yeah, that definitely. But this is not. I wouldn't say a promise, but it will happen. But once everything come back to normal, we got to get you guys up here in Canada once again.
Yeah.
That is my personal goal, and I love to hang around with you guys there again. The most difficult thing about hanging out with you guys is finding food for Orlando.
Well, go back to that seafood restaurant. That was
Yes,
good.
that was awesome.
It's pretty easy, Orlando. Don't worry.
Yeah, I will picking you, bro.
the prima donna of the band.
Well, you remember that, right?
Wait, so what's the story? What's the story here? What's the story?
He's not really a vegetarian. He's only a vegetarian when he's on tour with you guys, so that he has to have a special special meal.
No. Oh,
But that was a great experience, though. That was a great experience, though, that we had the band, all members sat down and had pho, Vietnamese soup.
Yeah.
That was classic. That was the best.
That was great. That was great.
Really nice.
Oh man, that was wonderful.
Yeah.
So next time I go up there, can we get it lobster something, with tostones and fried plantain?
Yep, definitely.
Is that okay?
Valeria will take care of it.
Valera will take care of it. We have to find Valera to take care of it. Orlando, I think that's a great name, by the way, honestly.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
All right. Also got another shout out. Edgar from Medellin says hi.
Hola,
Cheers to
Edgar.
everybody.
Saludos.
Let's get you guys back to Medellin, right? Let's do that, and back to Colombia, to Cali.
Oh, that's a must.
But I have the pleasure of what was that?
San Francisco. Let's go back to San Francisco.
No, nobody lives there in San Francisco.
For sure.
Right now, that's the hot
Where is San Francisco?
Hong moved to Philadelphia, brother.
I moved to Philly,
he
but
did?
yeah, but
I don't know why he made that move.
Because he's a Phillies fan.
Philly cheesesteaks. That's all I gotta say. And pretzels. That's the other thing in
really?
Philly. Philly
But
pretzels.
Aren't you originally from that part of the States?
I'm from Boston originally.
Okay, same thing, right?
Northeast guy.
Not quite.
But
south of the border.
we have a lot of friends my sister and her family lives in San Francisco, so I've kind of, I'll always consider San Francisco like my, one of my homes, and really close with all of the DJs and promoters over in San Francisco. I know that John and Liz would love to have you guys probably back at the Salsa Festival. So I mean, we figured it out like what three or so times, right? Getting you out to San Francisco. So there's a way, and I expect that once the vaccine hits and things get back to normal, there will be a lot of pent up demand. Everybody here, the reason why we have this like CoBeat party and this chat room is because everyone just is so like they miss salsa so much. Everyone wants to dance. Everyone wants to hear live music. Everyone wants to just hang out, drink a beer with each other, and have fun. So I think I can imagine the congresses, once everyone gets over like kind of the fear of of getting sick again, once like the vaccine is out there enough, I think the congresses will be crazy. I mean, we've been talking about doing a CoBeatParty world tour where we take all the DJs who have been playing a CoBeatParty and we just visit each other's cities. So I'm gonna go to Ottawa. We're gonna then get in the car and drive to Guelph, and then we'll drive to Toronto, see Nilsson Diaz. It's just gonna be like a never. We'll all have to take a year off work.
Another year.
I was gonna say, aren't we just doing that now?
Yeah.
Well, we're doing it virtually. We want to do it in person,
in real life. Yeah.
so that we can.
I meant taking the year off.
Yeah.
El Chino has a question for you guys. He wonders how the experience was to record another record, since it's been quite a while since the last one. We'll give it to Angel.
What was the question? Oh, the experience.
How the experience has changed recording this record versus the last one.
Okay.
The latest record, this one.
Well, it became a little easier because, I got his question here. And he's talking about Back on the Streets, between Back on the Streets. But between Back on the Streets and Lo que te traigo, we had Yesterday, Today, and Tomorrow. So that's number 3 that we've done since the hiatus that we took from the 70s. So it got a little simpler, is what it did get, because when we did Back on the Streets, we were just breaking the ice by getting back into the studio. So to me, it got a little simpler. The arrangements seem to be a little different. The style of the music has always stayed the same, but the arrangement got a little bit different. I don't know how any of the other guys feel. Jimmy, Conal.
I mean, I'll let some of you other guys speak. I wasn't on the first album you guys did.
You were on the second one.
It's second and third.
Right.
I mean, like my experience of going from the second album to the third is, if you like, experience of doing it again. And I think we got better at doing things. And Joe Manaz's arranging just seems to get better and better. And he's coming up with these wonderful arrangements that fit this ensemble, which is not very common, this makeup of band. And I think also with all the road work that we were doing, all the touring, it's a lot tighter as a unit. So when you go into the studio, it gets a little easier. We understand each other's playing better because we played so much more,
And not only that, I'm going to add that we're not mechanical. We're having fun.
Can I say something?
As a family, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Georgie.
George froze.
George, you there?
Yep. What? Just quick interjection to show you how long we've been around and how long our break was. When we did the Bound the Streets, which we actually started recording in 2006, the engineer that we were using, his name was Kurt Upper, great engineer, and rest in peace. When
I think the hurricane arrived in Florida. So we might have to come back to George. Why don't we play a song while we're waiting for George's connection to come back? Gury, do you have anything queued up? Gury, you there? If you're talking, you're on mute.
That's it. His battery is dead. Play something then.
Gury's mute mic was unplugged.
It'll work if you plug it in.
It's that cheap microphone Orlando gave me.
That's like the number one question, like for tech support. Is it plugged in?
Yeah.
It's like, are you sure?
Oh wait, sorry. It's either that or reboot the computer. Isn't that your number one thing there, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So
after you make sure it's plugged in.
All right, I don't have what you just wrote. I have the other one you wrote, but we'll get to something else. George, you were talking about the question.
George's connection is.
Yeah, I was just saying that we started recording for the first time in over 5 years in 2006, and when we were after the first session, we broke for lunch, and the gentleman who was recording, our recording engineer, we're kind of getting to know him, and he says, "So I hear that you guys are kind of making a comeback." We said, "Yeah, kind of," and he said, "How long has it been?" And I'm getting ready to take out an adding machine. And he says, since I wasn't answering, he says 10 years, and I said no. And he said 15 years, and I said no. And he said more than 15 years, and I said yes. And he said 20 years. It can't be more than 20. And I said yes. Anyway, when it turns out, when I told him it's been 35 years since we recorded, this is a guy who's been in the recording industry for the longest time. He recorded Mark Anthony, Ricky Martin, and he says, "I never in my whole life heard of a band making a comeback in 35 years." So that's crazy when you really think about it.
Not only making a comeback.
5 years is a long time.
Yeah.
To come back and find your footing. Yeah, but 35
So
years is crazy.
Being away for 35 years and then now continuing it for 20 more years. Huge success. Okay, we're going to play another track. I'm going to play from this CD. and we're going to play a track, and then we're going to get back and talk a little bit more with the new Swing Sextet.
Vaya, llegó el New Swing. Ese chamaco se pasa bebiendo ron cacheteado. Si su chamaca lo llama, el tipo ya está rajado. Oye, ¿qué tiene ese viejo? ¿Qué cosa tendrá? ¿Qué tiene ese viejo? ¿Por qué sufrirá? Ese chamaco se pasa bebiendo ron cacheteado. Se fue pa' Lois Aldea a beber ron con melao. Oye, ¿qué tiene ese viejo? ¿Por qué tomará? ¿Qué tiene ese viejo? ¿Qué cosa tendrá? Ese chamaco se pasa bebiendo ron cacheteado. Oye, ya llegó el rajao. María borracho y cachondeado. Ya llegó el rajao. Yo no sé lo que en su vida ha pasado. Ya llegó el rajao. Pero siempre se pasa amargado. Ya llegó el rajao. De la barra se pasa amarrado. Ya llegó el rajao. Qué pena me da su caso, señores. Ya llegó el rajao. Llegó el rajao. Repica Héctor a campanazo. Dice. Oye, ya llegó el rajao. Con una peste a bacalao. Ya llegó el rajao. Hacen días que no se ha bañado. Ya llegó el rajao. Si su chamaca lo llama, el celular está apagado. Ya llegó el rajao. Lo vieron por Lois Aldea bebiendo ron cacheteado. Ya llegó el rajao. De la botella siempre anda aferrado. Ya llegó el rajao. Llegó el rajao, llegó andando de lado, de lado, de lado. Rajao. ¿Qué? Un swing. Camina Jorge con sus palitos. Oh, oh. Cuéntamelo ya. Ya llegó el rajao. Por fin me ha contado su historia, lo que le ha pasado. Ya llegó el rajao. Me cuenta que fue a la guerra porque lo obligaron. Ya llegó el rajao. Y ahora prefiere tomar que vivir el pasado. Ya llegó el rajao. Ahora entiendo por qué vive intoxicado. Ya llegó el La vida te da sorpresas, sorpresas te da la vida. Ya llegó el rajao. Y el rajao dobló por el callejón, pero rajao y ya se acabó. New Swing.
All right, new Swing right there, and a shout out to Hector Ortiz in the lyrics there. A couple more shout out. Our brother Johnny from Boston just sent me a PM. Wants to give his shout out to everybody from the new Swing Sextet. Oh, George is back. All right. Jim, you got another question, Hong?
We actually had a question from DJ Felipe Ku from the audience, and it is, are you planning to make official reissues of the 60s albums? Now, I know those are Cotique records, and so that means that officially the licenses would be owned by Fania, right? I think if like that.
Well,
that
now they're owned by Concord.
Yeah, but yeah, under their Fania imprint. So, what do you think, George? What's the prognosis there?
I don't think he can hear you, George.
George, check 1, check 2. Can you hear us?
Maybe not. Not a good follow-up for this question as well. All right, okay, we lost the audio on George. Angel, what? Any word coming from Fania/Concord on that?
Well, the last I heard, and you know, COVID has really put a stop on a lot of stuff. We were investigating the possibilities of trying to get back the rights from Concord, because Concord now just buying out everything that Fania had.
And there's no real intention to like release anything other than like the most like top 5 Fania records.
Right. And there is, I've learned that there is a statute of limitation on holding publishing and stuff on music that goes back more than 49 years, and it's been more than 49 years with new swing stuff. So hopefully we can get open up those doors again and get some negotiations going with these people. If we do, definitely there'll be a reissue on all the stuff that New Swing has. We're planning to do the same thing with the Back on the Streets. Another one of the things that we're trying to do is release everything back on vinyl, including Back on the Streets, Yesterday, Today, and Tomorrow. And follow up with, of course, Lo Que Te Traigo, that we did with Abanico.
I mean, if you've been like, I guess you've been seeing this, and a lot of us who are the vinyl aficionados, we get crazy about collecting the vinyl, and so we, anything that comes out on vinyl, we're in a rabid hurry. Especially Mr. Jim there in the top left corner. He's like the first person in line to buy like 10 copies of every album. So you know that as soon as you get like, part of your quota will be satisfied by just Salsa Jim alone.
Well, I always get 2 of everything these days, just because like I just want it so much. But the one thing about vinyls, and I think that's a great way forward with releasing music on vinyl, is that and Joe, like George, like we have a physical medium that we can hold on to and say, you know what, great music is in here, right? So that is something that I think I treasure it very much. And I think for everybody who are music fanatics are feeling the same. So despite there's cost associated with that, but just the value of having that particular piece of music on a physical medium, it means so much more to some of us.
I want to give a shout out to Jill Anderson. She's one of our UK fans who has been supporting CoBeatParty from the very beginning, and also a big fan of you guys. And my understanding is that she thanks to CoBeatParty, she started collecting vinyl, and she doesn't even have a record player. So she's like buying these records to support the bands, to have like a piece of like almost like art, right, and history that you can have, and that it's not like a streaming file on Spotify or YouTube video. This is a real thing, that you can treasure, you can pass down. You can't pass down like a Spotify stream, right? So, shout out to Jill there. Like we're changing slowly how people treat music and consume music, bringing it back.
Just wondering if George can hear us again. George? No. So my follow-up question to that, Angel, because you also dealt with the label as well with the Ray J record. Those contracts from back in the 60s, there's a lot of talk right now with reissues, and, I buy the official reissues because bands get paid, et cetera, et cetera. A lot of those contracts that were signed back 40 and 50 years ago were not very positive to the artists.
No.
Have you guys seen anything from those early records, from the Fania staple of labels, from way back in the 60s and 70s, or that's just something that's gone?
No, not much. A lot of people, a lot of the bands that recorded back in that era, of course, never saw anything. The contracts back then read very simple. You do one album, we'll see how it does, and if it does well, we'll record you again, and then we'll cut you in with the publishing. But the first album was always like a deposit. You did it for free.
Wow.
Nine times out of 10, the company would say,
That is terrible.
nine times out of 10, the company would say, "Well, the album didn't do too well." Boom, and that's it. So, in the case of my brother Ray J and the East Siders, that was a one-time album recorded. It was recorded, and it was only one album. So we fell under the guidelines of Cotique, which was you give us the first album, and if you see how popular that album is today, that album is you can't get your hands on it.
It's sought after.
Yeah. So we know that is the fact with a lot of the music that's out there, and my experience with all the recordings back in the '60s and the '70s, there was a ton of bands out there, hundreds of bands, literally in New York, Brooklyn, Queens, all over the place. That's why we had music 7 days a week in New York City. New York had music going 7 days a week, live music all through the weekend, because there was tons of bands, tons of them, and a lot of them were very, very, very good bands. But with the music industry the way it was, I think that it didn't do any justice to a lot of those bands. Today, a lot of them are coming back because of the insurge of the promoters from South America, from Colombia, from all the other South American countries, and of course the collectors, the vinyl collectors, are bringing back a lot of these bands, and a lot of them are re-flourishing again, coming back strong. As Gury knows, back now in South America and in Colombia, there's a lot of promoters out there that are bringing back these bands. Case in point,
the Leyendas, that concert is case in point.
That man has brought back from the dead a lot of the bands that are playing out there today. It was such a treat and such an honor to be there with a lot of the bands that we ourselves haven't seen in so many years. So
it's like a reunion, right?
Yeah. Oh, actually, it was incredible. It's incredible. So what happened back in the '60s and the '70s with the recording industry. Of course, everybody was out there to make their money, and of course on somebody else's back, and they did well. They did well because now a lot of that music is tied up in their archives, and nothing is happening with it.
Yeah, and that's a shame.
Yeah, it's a very shame. Yeah,
Gury, you
been
mentioned
like that for years.
You mentioned your plan, like if we can set up a record company in Japan, we can reissue all these albums.
Which is what Angel was just talking about, the 49 years. I think it's 49 years, 364 days, and on that next day, you can actually reissue those records in Japan. I shouldn't be telling everybody this, but you can actually reissue it without paying the publishing rights to the artist, or to who holds it, because a lot of the '60s and '70s, of course, aren't owned by the artist; they're owned by the labels. So it might be a way to go on Hell to get something done. And
if someone's going to release a record, let it be you guys.
Yeah, I mean, it can be done legally, and you guys can all benefit from it.
At least to release the music.
Yes.
At least to release the music. I don't know how it will work financially. If we don't hold the publishing, how do we republish this music?
Yeah, no, but the publishing expires is what happens, right? So you don't have to worry about that aspect of it. Because I worked on this with a Colombian artist who released a record on Polydor, and for years he had not been receiving any monies and everything like that, and we got him the rights back for that, so that he would be and could release it digitally, officially, and not just crappy MP3 bootlegs and so forth. So I think that's something definitely to research and look into, and it would be a great way to get official reissues of those early releases for the people that are desperate to get it and not pay hundreds of dollars for them.
Right.
Sound like a great idea.
Ricardo Linel, yeah, it's very sad. He's saying that Ray J and the East Siders is an amazing album. You know, we thought it was an amazing album also. Some great players on that album. A little history, very quick history on that. 80% of that band became Angel Canales. That band became, that was all Ray J's players.
No kidding. They became the Angel Canales band.
Yeah.
And also, wasn't that Hilton Ruiz's first recording?
That was Hilton Ruiz's first recording on a salsa, on a boogaloo album. Yes, Hilton was maybe around 14 or 15 years old when we first met him.
May he rest in peace, by the way.
Rest in peace is right. We lost a very, very great player. But Hilton was just a kid back then, and he was more into the classical music because he was brought up as a classical player, a prodigy at that. Because,
amazing piano player.
We got statistics from his mom regarding Hilton. Hilton did a concert in Carnegie Hall at the age of 6, I think it was 6 or 7.
Holy moly!
So Hilton was a prodigy back then. He was a product of what could have really been an incredible, and he was an incredible musician.
I think I was putting construction paper on a piece of cardboard at the age of 6.
an incredible person. If you knew Hilton was, what a pisser he was. He was an incredible guy.
Hey, George, how's your audio?
I can hear you now.
Back in business? Oh, great.
Great.
Start.
Uh-oh, George is back.
We've been talking about ways to take over the band. And
I'm getting temporary place. Get back on the show quick.
I'm over here learning how to play the vibes.
I was going to say, Salsa Jim already has one of your vibraphone mallets, so he's halfway there. 50%.
Actually, I have a whole collection of George's vibraphone mallets, and he once told me, I think I asked him for his vibraphone mallet, and he said to me, "You know what? You're the first person to ever ask me for the vibraphone mallet." Do you remember that, George?
Yep.
Yeah. Now they're all over the country.
But you were the first.
Oh, now the word is out. Everyone's going to be asking you for vibraphone mallets now.
And I think my friend Alejito in Manizales, him and I split a pair at the Manizales Ferry to Manizales concert.
Oh, we lost George.
Oh,
but
yeah,
I'm gonna ask for like a piece of the instrument from everybody. So Jimmy's gotta give me one of his timbal sticks, and Connell's gotta give me like a key from his piano.
Hey, Hung, I kid you not. But when I set up the band's, instrument position and stuff like that, I almost, got myself some souvenirs from Jimmy's timbales set there, but he needed for the gig. So I say, okay, I gotta be nice. So
I hope Harry's not driving. Are you, Harry?
I think he is.
Harry, are you driving?
Harry, Bobby, we miss you.
Oh, he's gone.
Oh,
and Ricardo's asking, weren't Angel and Harry on the Ray J record? Yes, that's right.
It was a family affair.
It was a family affair.
Rafael Ray J Justiniano. That's your younger brother, right? Is that right?
He's the oldest.
He's the oldest. Okay.
Yeah, he's older. He's Ray is my next brother, my oldest brother. Yeah. So it was Ray, myself, and Harry. Harry's the next on there.
What? And so after that record, I guess because Coty kind of didn't treat you so well, was that the end of Ray's kind of musical career, or what?
No, it didn't become the end of it. My brother Ray actually is, from what I understand, is still doing performances. He lives in Florida, he's doing performances. He has a son-in-law that's into the music industry. He's a talent buyer of some kind, and he manages to get Ray and his orchestra into a lot of the events over there. Last one I heard, he opened up for a Gran Combo en la Sonora Ponceña over in the House of Blues. But no, Ray is still kicking a little bit, trying to release some of his newer music. But of course, everything is at a standstill. So
That would be cool if, like any concert where they have new swing, they bring Ray and a couple horns, and then you get a twofer, right? You get new swing and Ray J.
We're just putting that out there, guys.
That's going to become a
any
sextet,
promoters
not a
out there, yeah.
well, you know, new swing wouldn't really be new swing. I think we've kicked around putting in an extra horn or something every once in a while, or somebody would ask, you know. And if you notice that on the Lo que te traigo, on the club track of Mambo Italiano, they put in a trumpet player in that. Alexio managed to put a lead trumpet in there to do a little solo.
Yeah,
but
setting the stage.
Yeah, we've tried. You know, we've had a couple of sax players come in. Of course, back in the days, we had Artie Webb playing flute with us at the time. So Artie did a lot of stuff with us. So we've had a little bit of brass in there, one or two times, but it kind of doesn't work. I had a thing really quickly that when I played with big bands, especially like with my brother's band, or I played with Wayne Gorbea, or I played with Gus Cologne at the time, there's always been a problem with trombone players playing above me and spitting on my head. So I found not to play with brass anymore.
You got to put that in the stage plot on him.
Wow.
Yeah, you got to wear an umbrella while you.
Yeah, the trombone's going to be standing on top of Jimmy or something like that.
Yeah. No, we had a problem, you know, with that. But you know, it would be a good idea. I mean, I think that as a novelty jam to bring in artists, different artists, would be great. We've always thought about that, putting out something that would be titled "New Swing and Friends," you know.
Oh, yeah. That's nice.
And bring in different type artists, not necessarily just brass, but bringing in different artists. You know.
Jimmy Bosch is always available as a trombonist.
Oh, we've done plenty with Jimmy Bosch.
Yeah, exactly.
Jimmy Bosch usually jumps up on the stage when we cross paths or any place in the world. He can jump up.
That's awesome. Yeah.
You know, there are some interesting bands out there that do incorporate the vibe sound with horns. So,
yeah.
On that vibe, I have a question for George. Can you hear me, George? Can you hear us?
I'm here right now. Before they take me away, go ahead.
Yeah. So, I mean, like the vibe is a very, very specialized instrument, and you know very well of that. But I don't think there are many players out there. Danza. I think. Sorry if I pronounce his name incorrectly. I think he's in the UK right now. Is the
Lorenzo?
Lorenzo.
Oh, Lorenzo.
Yeah. So, but there's not many players out there in that. Do you afraid that's going to be a lost art?
I hope not. I mean, there's actually not many, but there are quite a few good ones, and you know, vibe based groups. But I think part of it's just a hard instrument to lug around. You know, it's used extensively with orchestras and in halls where they don't have to be moving them around back and forth all the time.
Yeah.
I think that's part of it. You know, I know that I think of it all the time. Gee, if I would have been a flute player, my life would have been so much easier. But then again,
you were a clarinet player, right?
I was. Yeah, I was a clarinet player. That's
George,
where I started.
so
Played
get
clarinet,
this.
then saxophone.
Salsa Jim is a clarinet player. I didn't know.
I
you knew
Really?
that.
I am.
All
Yeah.
right.
Bro, man, we gotta.
It's over there.
If you
You gotta
get
jam it
on
up
with me,
now.
we'll figure something
No,
out.
I thought he was a nuclear scientist.
I'm a man of all trades, Gury. You
That's
know
his
that.
part-time job. Is the nuclear scientist.
Protecting Canada.
That would sound good. A Dixieland new swing.
Right, there you go.
Well,
You could do like what do they call it? Like the second line, where you have like
Yeah.
the marching band with the drums.
Right.
Jimmy's got like the.
That's all like that. Yeah.
Actually, to Jim's point. Go ahead, George.
I was just going to say that when we started and when I was a clarinet player, I couldn't get anybody to play with me because nobody was interested in playing salsa music with a clarinet player. And that's part of the reason when I got a set of vibes, you know. And I didn't know how to play the vibes either, but at that time it was young guys, and I would have guys come, wow, you got that? Look, what kind of instrument is that? And I would tell them, and you want to join the band? And they would say, yeah, just because of that. But moving forward a couple of years, then I heard Bobby Rodriguez, and he did it beautifully and flawlessly, fitting the vibe and almost the Dixieland sound with the Latin music. So that's when I first heard it, and it worked really good.
George, I'm a fanatics of salsa music, as you know, and I'm fanatics of the clarinets. And I've been looking everywhere to get tracks that has clarinets. But yes, it just so hard, and it's
You
not
never
the
asked
type
me,
of
Jim.
instrument. It's not a kind of instrument that's definitely playing on a Latin band for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's a lot of clarinet used in cumbia.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Lucho Bermudez.
Yeah, one of the last albums that Cachao did, they featured the danzones and
Yeah, that's right.
clarinet in a couple of the tracks. Mm-hmm.
Like the one that the one Vamos a bailar, vamos a gozar. There's
That's
like
the same one.
there's
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
there's a clarinet
Yeah.
in the.
Sounds like Orlando has some competition as sonero.
I saw that. I was listening.
He's sitting up there quietly.
No, good way.
All right, Chino has another question. You popped it up on the screen there, Hong.
Yeah, as you started in the '60s, so this is directed at George, but I know that Angel was around for some of this as well. What other sextets besides Joe Cuba with vibes were playing? Like what was like the competitive landscape of vibraphone based salsa?
It was Gilberto and his sextet.
Oh yeah, the Gilberto
there was a
sextet.
group called Gil Suarez and the High Latins.
Yes,
a nice, real nice.
Actually
group.
played both of them on my show last week.
Benito and his
There was
Benito.
Benito.
Benito. Yeah. The group that did a lot of the Cal Jader stuff, the Latin jazz sextet, was really a good group.
Juan
And then coming after that, yes, yeah. Then after that, which was the group in the '80s, Siete Potencias, right?
La Siete Potencia.
Yeah.
But today's there's not many. If you think about it, like today's new bands or new composition, there isn't much vibes out there. Right? So
no,
La
There's a
Candela.
few really good bands. Yeah, La Candela. On the West Coast, our friends.
Vibrazón.
Really good group. Yeah. And of course, which the great vibe group from New York.
New Swing Sextet.
No. No. Gee, I can't. The name slips me. They had vibes in their
Black
name.
Sugar. Black Sugar.
Black
Sugar,
Black Sugar
but
was
Grupo
gone.
Latin Vibe too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Grupo Latin Vibe. Son
That's what I'm
Boricua.
thinking about. Grupo Latin Vibe.
Oh, Son Boricua. There you go.
Son Boricua.
With Jimmy
And then,
Sabater.
of course,
Also,
the
great
groups from South America.
Great Canadian
Mongo.
band, Cache and the Jazz Meets Salsa Orchestra.
Cache, yes, yeah. Mm-hmm.
We
So
have got
there's a sprinkling. There's a nice band.
Carabalí was also
Yes,
a sextet.
Carabalí
Yeah,
with
that was
Oscar
Yeah,
Hernandez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, Oscar Hernandez. Correct. Mhm.
Oh,
But,
looks like
yeah,
Connell, you got to go.
There've been a few.
Let's
All right.
say goodbye to Connell. I think he
Yes,
wants to be
yeah,
a
goodbye, that
gracious
Connell.
guest.
Stay safe, eh? Be
Love
safe.
you, Kono.
Sure.
I love you.
Be good, buddy.
Oh.
Miss you.
Grammy Award winning Connell Fox.
Guys, thank you so much for having me. It's great to see everybody. I'm sorry I have to go,
No,
but let's do this
It's cool,
again,
bro.
please.
Thank you.
be good, brother. And then we're gonna have a pint. We're gonna have a pint soon, right?
Absolutely. We'll have a few pints.
That's right.
See
See you,
you.
Connell.
Lovely, bro.
Bye.
Thank you so
Okay.
much. Take care.
Looks
Thank
like
you.
Jimmy's already having some pints.
I've got some pretty
An
cheap
Amstel
beer
Light.
here.
Wow.
Ooh.
Pabst
I got
Blue
some
Ribbon.
PBR.
All right.
It's the
What part
cheapest
of
beer I could find.
I'm just wondering what part of Philadelphia you live in. Drinking that stuff.
Yeah, the rough part. We have a drink. It's called the Citywide Special. It's basically like a PBR draft and then like a shot of like well whiskey, whatever, whatever's like the cheapest whiskey that you can have, and it's called one drink, but it's two drinks, and it's generally like $5. And let's just say,
Yeah,
it can be
that's
trouble.
gross.
That's a
prefer-
Philly thing. The Citywide Special. Look it up.
I prefer my Colt 45.
Do you even have that in Canada?
Old school.
Yeah, you can buy it in a big, and it comes in that big bottle thing.
Yeah, 40 ounce.
Quartz.
Yeah, yeah, it's quarts.
That, you
I'm
know,
not sure.
the person who was famous for doing the ads for that is Billy D. Williams,
Yeah, yeah.
Lando Calrissian. He would
Oh,
say,
yeah,
like, his-
right.
The line was like Colt 45 works every time.
Yeah, that's right.
It was a big beer in the early days of the hip hop scene. So
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen. I also have to say goodbye
Uh-oh.
to, because I have to head out for a prior commitment. But just want to say thank you so much for having me on the talk show here. I think it's been fantastic.
this is
And,
the
miss
fireside
you guys
chats,
all.
Jim.
Yes, miss you guys all. And honestly, we have to make this happen again once everything go back to normal. We're definitely for sure too.
We miss you,
I'll
Jim.
be
You're
right
a
back.
class guy, man.
Yeah, thank you
Good
very
seeing
much,
you,
George.
Jim.
Because George, the reason I got only one because I want the other one. That's part of the reason why I need to bring it back. So
And I need my
Yeah.
sleeve, Jim, okay?
Right.
Jim.
George, I got more congas for you to choose this time around than before. So, yep, sure, I got you taken care of. But take care, everybody, and please stay safe, and let's keep in touch and healthy. All right.
I see you,
Bye,
Jim.
All right, guys. Be good, Jim.
Love you, man.
Thank you.
Love you, brother. All right.
See, getting a lot
Get
of
rid of
nice additional vibe bands that people like. Los Gatos.
Oh, Los
If you
Gatos
guys,
are.
Heard of them? Alfredo Naranjo
Never heard- where
from
are they
Venezuela.
Okay, yeah,
Los
I know
Gatos.
Mango, right? That we were talking about Grupo Mango. Really nice group.
Yeah. I forgot where Los Gatos are from, but they're from somewhere unexpected.
There's another band from Colombia, which I believe it was like a super group of, I think it was Diego Gale, and called the New York Sextet. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that one.
Yeah.
I think they may have even done a couple of new swing songs. And Hong and I were talking, doing our setup to this, and I don't know if I'm pushing us ahead here, Hong, but we were going to play a couple of other bands doing your songs.
Yeah,
Have
yeah,
I
yeah.
pushed it too far ahead? So we're wondering. So did you have something queued up, Hong, or no?
I actually have to go to the store. I gotta
Don't
take a
play
little pit
anything that
stop.
sounds
So
better than us, okay?
Okay. Well, Hong is going to go to the store and get another Colt 45.
well,
And,
okay, no, you know what? I
You can do
have
that.
something.
Cue up the song, and then we're going to get George's reaction and everyone's reaction to their the versions. In the meantime, Orlando, I know right now is up to no good, recording in the studio, doing something. Tell us a little bit about that, Orlando.
This is a band from Puerto Rico, and it's directed by Sergio Clemente, and the band leader is Gary Vera, my compadre, my daughter's godfather, and we've known each other for years since we were in the military, in the army. And he invited me to do this recording, and I'm really excited about it. Something different. It's plena, plena bomba Say Chorreado is the original music of Puerto Rico that I grew up with, besides listening to salsa. So it's really exciting to be able to sing the music from the roots of Puerto Rico, and it was something different and very, very exciting. So yeah, so that's what I was doing.
When do we expect this to drop?
Oh, it's already out there. I think he just gave it to us as a gift, for people to play and listen to it, ready for his upcoming CD.
And
I
is
heard
there a
the
website?
tune. The tune swings. It swings really nice. Orlando did a great job.
Yes, it is an awesome,
Thank you.
great vocals on
Thank
that track.
you.
I think I
Thank
sent
you.
you that message. I have a question. Since George has moved to Florida, how often are you guys
We had
rehearsing
a lot
down
of
there?
pl-
Come on.
Yeah, we had a lot of plans, right, Georgie? To get together, but with this virus, we haven't been able to do anything. So, well, hopefully soon, he can come over to my house and spend some time together. We're gonna be rehearsing a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, with some coquito that I
Yeah.
have here.
All right.
Both in
Did you go to the
Florida, we're 4.5 hours away from each other, so
Oh, nice.
No, how far? It's not that far, George. It's about two
I
and a half
must say-
hours, right?
I must say, George, Florida's doing you wonders. You look great, man. You look young.
He does look good.
yes, we're gonna
Yeah,
be
his
close
hair
to
looks
the-
darker.
You guys all. I do have to say. I meant to say that at the top. You guys all look great, so I'm really happy.
I don't think you heard me though.
No,
No.
that's a,
He looks darker too, right?
There he is.
Look at him.
we're
Say
going to
that.
record it and send it to him. Jimmy, I
Four
think
and
you
a
got
half
it.
hours.
No, Jimmy was commenting on how great you look.
Oh,
Huh?
yeah.
He froze up again.
Yeah, it's the hurricane.
He was
Oh,
so
really?
surprised.
Dude.
He's like a deer in the headlights
Yeah.
when he's complimented.
That's the Alzheimer. It's a
He's at the Jimmy Buffett Margaritaville. He's using their free Wi-Fi or something.
Oh, man.
All right, you know what, Gury? I got a song queued up, and I think
All right.
George told me this story. I want to say that George told me this story. This is a 45 from Colombia
I
by
have a
Fruco
special
Isus.
filter on. I have a filter.
Oh, George is
He
way
has a-
behind,
I think he has an Instagram filter. That's what's making him look younger.
and it's also making his internet slower.
A little makeup.
Okay, so I'm gonna play this track by Fruco y sus Tesos. This is their version of El Tiroteo. They call it Bang Bang, and I think George told me that this got so popular in Colombia that people actually thought it was a Fruco song and not a new Swing Sextet song. So I'm gonna play like their version, which is pretty much a straight up cover. There's one thing that I find different from it, which is like the reverb in the coro. But I'm just gonna play it for you guys, and I want to hear your reactions. Here we go.
A ti te andaba buscando porque mi novia me dijo que anoche en la avenida tú la estabas molestando, que le tiraste cañona. Eso me dijo Ramona, y si lo tuyo es de avanza, lo mío será venganza. Por eso traigo pistola, te saque dispara sola, y si te pones muy fresco, te voy a volar la chola. Yo a ti te andaba buscando, y ahora que te encontré, bam, bam, bam. Bam, bam, kiribim, bam, bam. Bam, bam, kiribim, bam, bam. Traigo pistola para matar. Bam, bam, kiribim, bam, bam. De todo el mapa te voy a borrar. Bam, bam, kiribim, bam, bam. Bam, 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 bam. Oye, Bruno.
I'd just like to say I think Fruco also added the part about Chippy Chappy Jumbo.
Yeah.
That's not in the original one, as that is a two neighborhoods in Cali, Colombia.
So there was a question from El Chino, who sang the song, and the answer is Juan Go, whose name is Humberto Muriel Gonzalez, who was the singer on the album Tesura as well. That appears to be the original singer, not Joe Arroyo. But yeah, like George, I think you told me this story, but what I think I heard you told me was that this was so popular that in Colombia they thought that this was a Fruco original and not by the New Swing Sextet.
Yes. Yeah, don't forget that not only did they do a great version of it, but we had stuff we hadn't been playing. So I guess if you came up, you didn't hear ours, you heard their version. But anyway, they played us homage, and
there was a little confusion there because Joe Arroyo also did it, and a lot of people in Colombia also thought that it belonged to Joe Arroyo. For the longest time, I go on a lot of the internet radios, and when they used to play that, they used to name it as a Joe Arroyo song, and I would correct them on the chats. I would tell them no, and I would send them a link to the New Swing Sextet and the year it was recorded, and then they say, "You're right." They never knew that. But Joe Arroyo, I think that the Joe Arroyo version got much more play than the Fruco.
Yeah, it's a little bit more a little bit more mainstream for Colombia anyway, not necessarily in North America, but
there it goes.
And here you have the notorious
that's a Peruvian impressing
derechos reservados, right? So also known as like the way that you pretty much steal someone else's music. Yeah, you're right. This is a Peruvian pressing. Vide.
Record nerd, eh?
you are a record nerd. But I mean, the way I interpret it is like, and this is what was going on in South America. They were looking to Fania, Alegre, Cotique. They were just like getting the records, right? They would come in on the ports, and like the local bands would listen to them, and they would copy what they heard, right? And in some cases to great effect, with grand groups like Fruco and the Latin Brothers, all on Fuentes, which is like Disco Fuentes is like the powerhouse, the Fania of Colombia, even before Fania had become like a powerhouse in the United States, right? So kind of an amazing story about how your music inspired, Colombia and Venezuela and all these other countries.
Yeah, just to mention very quickly that even up to today, a lot of what they call viejotecas over there, when they close out their shows or their night, what they close it with is La Rumba Se Acabó. That's a much heavy popular tune over there because of what it says. The La Rumba is over, so everybody can go home. So that's a tune that plays every night in all La Viejoteca. Speaking with a lot of our Colombian friends, they know El Tiroteo, they know Vete Pa' Allá, and they know La Rumba Se Acabó.
I think we know what we're going to end the show with. The question is which version we're going to play, but
and I'm ready. I got my chair.
Well, we have the version on Lo Que Te Traigo. That
yeah,
was
exactly.
The
we should
latest
play the modern version.
Yeah.
Orlando, there was a question for you. Somebody was asking if you're related to Pipo Pica.
No.
No.
Who's that?
He said,
Chino's asking.
He said, "How about new?"
What about Pepe?
No. Oh, Pepe Cabecita, yeah. That one I know. Jimmy, you let that one go.
All right. Also,
You played it on the-
actually, you guys are still
know.
doing that. You guys are still doing that track, and it's incredible. I love when you guys play that one.
Lago
Which one
Macacabo?
is that? Oh,
The one we just played.
Yeah.
Hola, Rumba
Wait,
Sacabo.
tiroteo or
Tiroteo, yeah. That's a very hot tune. It's very much asked for every time we play. So
And it's fun.
and
to
you did
listen
that
to.
on back on the streets.
yes, that was
yeah.
with our friend
Oh,
Charlene on
Okay,
drums.
Orlando, Valeria is here.
Oh, Valeria.
Hola.
¿Cómo estás? So good to see you.
You too.
Ah,
I
that's
have to
awesome.
run, but I just wanted to say hi.
Hola. God bless you.
Hello.
Love you guys.
You can't see
Me too.
shadows.
Oh, yeah.
Love you.
Okay. Bye.
We gotta get that shepherd's pie.
Sorry?
The shepherd's pie that she made out there, remember?
No.
At your house.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You better remember.
That was Mama Luz. That was Mama Luz, not
that was
Valeria.
her. Oh, okay.
So a funny story is Orlando was doing some shouts out at a gig here in Guelph, and we had just had dinner at my house, etc., and he gave a big shout out to Valentina, but called her Valeria. So that's been our kind of inside joke ever since.
Yeah.
And I remember that as well in Colombia at the Leyendas. I was crying in the stands, and you guys gave us a shout out there in Medellin, Colombia. So cheers to that.
Well deserved.
We all got to get back together soon, and as I mentioned last weekend or 2 weekends ago on Headless, so we got to knock another country off the list and another continent.
Yeah.
Also, Mehmet in Cyprus gives a big shout out and hugs to you guys as well.
Oh, we love Mehmet. Mehmet's a great guy, man. Great guy.
He's an incredible guy. So what have you guys been up to other than just chilling at home, working? Orlando, you're back to work?
I am working, yes.
Nice.
I work. I do.
Singing in the studio.
Yes. So I hope Mehmet still have my T-shirt from the new Swing Sextet that I gave him in Israel.
When
the picture.
When I was in Cyprus a couple of years ago, he actually showed that to me.
No way.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I still have it. That's awesome.
Hong appears to have disappeared from the scene.
Oh, so what I wanted to do, because we had multiple requests for Puerto Rico es para ti, and
I actually wanted to talk about that song just quickly.
Do it.
So in Colombia, it is kind of an anthem. Puerto Rico es para ti. George, can you hear? George?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's kind of an anthem in Colombia, and the song was released on a 12-inch, 2 songs, limited quantities. I think you guys have told me maybe 75 or 100 have gone out into the wild.
Yeah. Never released though.
Yeah.
Never released. Right.
Never released. No.
So Hong and I were doing an interesting study, and we were thinking to ourselves, we probably know where about 20% of these records are. I know Angel has a couple. I'm not sure about George if he has one.
I have one.
And I know
one.
Hong has one. I have one.
Me and Gury were like 3% of the records available.
And I know I think I can account for about 20% of them. Do you know where? Do you have any idea where the other 80 are?
A lot of them are on. in South.
I remember.
Go ahead, George.
What I remember was that I believe that the quantity that we did was 80 copies, and we were doing it primarily for ourselves because we didn't know. This was the mid '70s. We didn't know how much longer we were going to be playing, so we recorded the tunes Angel's brother and Harry's brother, who's a great graphic artist, he did the cover for us. It's a broken swing, right? And it's not a new swing. So he did the artwork, and then when we had them printed, we gave everybody like 10 copies. I believe we had 10 extra copies left or something like that. And I wound up giving them to cousins and to, family members and friends. That's what I did with mine. And somehow I held on to one because I just wanted to have one. And I guess they're scattered around like that.
Little did you know.
We've been offered a lot of money.
Yeah. Little did you know, 40 years later, you were giving away,
right.
Thousands and thousands of dollars, right?
Yeah, that's true. That is so true. I can vouch that I have maybe 4 of them.
Whoa.
I gave one to our good friend Edgar Berrios. I presented it to him in La Leyendas concert.
I witnessed that.
Yeah, it's a funny thing because when I spoke to Edgar, because of course I do all the bookings for the band. When I spoke to Edgar, and we were putting together contracts for the Medellin Las Leyendas concert, he gave me a list because that they give you a list of the tunes that they want to hear. It's really funny, but this is the list that they want. Luckily, that 80% of the tunes that he gave us, we never took them out of our repertoire. We've been playing them, so it was kind of easy. But when he threw Puerto Rico at us, which is a tune that we hadn't played in like 35 years, he tells me, Angel, but there's one thing. You need to play Puerto Rico. If you can't play Puerto Rico, we can't have you in Colombia. So
that's a pretty serious requirement there.
Yeah,
that was pretty hard. And I told George, and of course we had to kick it around because there's a little legality regarding that tune, which we had to make up our minds whether we were ever going to play it again or not. And we decided to say, yeah, okay, well, we're going to do it. Number one, because we're out of the United States, we're in another country. So hopefully if we play it, nothing happens. So we put it together. And
yeah, well, the copyright rules are different, and you're performing it, technically under a different name, right? The new Swing Sextet versus El Nuevo Swing. So.
That's correct, yeah.
Right. So,
and
go ahead, Gury.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Ahmed.
No, so we decided to do it, and lo and behold, it was to our surprise, it was incredible when we started playing that tune because
everyone's singing along.
We almost couldn't sing. We almost couldn't do it because the crowd was like 13,000 strong there. So and the cheers.
Led by the one and only Gury.
Wait, explain the chairs thing. I don't know what you're talking about.
In Colombia, at the concert, when the Melomanos get one of these jams that we listen to, everybody picks up their chair and they throw it in the air like this. So it's funny because
really dangerous.
I do it at all the shows, right? Orlando can attest to that. In Guelph, I was picking up the chair and he was singing that, and it was incredible. And I remember when I saw Tromborenga, a band from Spain who have a huge following in Colombia as well. I saw them in Toronto, and I started doing that in the front row, and they just burst out laughing. It was incredible. But it's an interesting thing to see. And for all the salsa DJs and salsa lovers listening on the CoBeatParty, I highly recommend making a trip to Colombia, not just for a vacation, but to go to a live concert.
I wanted to go this year, and COVID happened.
Well, we're already going, right? You know that. You're going to come to my house home. We're going to hang out. We're going to have fun.
Yeah,
Orlando.
As long
Orlando.
as those 40,000 people in the stadium are vaccinated, I'm there.
That was a beautiful home too. Beautiful home.
Well, it is. It's a beautiful place. Yeah. Oh, I forgot, Orlando. You came to our house and went with my mother-in-law through the backyard there.
Yeah.
But yeah,
George and Hector.
That's right.
You
And Jimmy.
You got to remember one thing: when you go there, you got to bring your own chair.
Folding chair, like a camp chair, or like?
No, they give you nice plastic patio chairs at the concert. But and maybe El Chino, El Chino is listening from Cali, and if he could explain the history of that, I'm not sure.
And Jimmy was there too.
Yeah, Jimmy was there.
Yeah.
Oh, Jimmy was there too, right? Yeah.
And Jimmy.
But the history of the chair and the air thing, I'm not 100% sure. So maybe El Chino knows the actual, cultural history of that. I just kind of jumped on the bandwagon.
Whatever you got in your hand.
So Jimmy and Orlando, since you guys didn't record on El Nuevo Swing, but you played it for that crowd, what was your reaction to seeing like 10,000, however many tens of thousands of people singing along to that song and seeing what it meant to them? Was that like a trip?
Well, I could say the hairs on my back stood up.
Uh-huh.
I couldn't believe the feeling. It was the maximum that day. I will never forget that. It was incredible. Yeah.
For me, coming up on stage, listening to the people when we were backstage, then the crowd was so loud, and you can feel the stage vibrating. And I remember Angel was just telling me a few times before we got on stage, he said, "Hey, it was a new song that we never played before. We had to practice just to do it in Colombia for the first time, at least for me." So I was just practicing, rehearsing, listening to the music, but when I got on stage, when I 2 seconds into the song, I said, "Well, I guess I don't even have to look at the lyrics anymore. I just read people's lips," and they were just singing along with me, and it was awesome. It was just a little scary at the beginning because you don't want to mess up. If they know the lyrics before you, that's a problem. So
because they'll be like, "What the hell? The singer doesn't know the lyrics.
What is he doing on stage? We know the song better than him." So
because everybody in the audience knew the lyrics.
Yes, I'm sure better than me.
You know what? I imagine it's like, the band Journey, and like they had that guy. They had the replacement for Steve Perry, who's like the lead singer of Journey.
Yeah.
And that guy, he's a great singer, but like everyone's like expecting someone who's as good as Steve Perry,
You know what that reminded me, Hong, on Gury, when we went to Shanghai, China. I remember, this is even crazier. People in China, they were singing along with me. And that was really, crazy. I said, whoa.
Like, you don't even understand what this means.
I know, but that's the thing. And I told them, I said, listen, so you guys know Spanish? They said, no, we don't know Spanish. We just know the lyrics. And that was even more impressive that in Colombia, that they love our music so much. But in Shanghai, singing and then not knowing the language.
They were saying Cantonese Spanish.
Right.
Did you say Cantonese Spanish?
Right. That's what he said.
But the one thing I will say about that song is that everybody knows the 12-inch. But when you guys have been playing it live, I saw it, I think, maybe 3 or 4 times live now. That you have now made it a song that can be associated with this lineup of the new Swing Sextet. Like you brought your own different elements to it, right? And it's not like the one that we're going to play. It's something brand new. That's like a new song for this new, version of the band. So
that's
awesome. That's something to be
it.
Proud of.
I want to see the live version of that. Gury, do you have it? Do you have it ready? Can you play it or?
I can play the 12-inch. I don't have the live version. I have the live version on video.
Yep.
Except for there's a part in it where I'm crying, so I apologize.
Actually, Gury, the version that we did at your place there in Guelph, that to me was maybe the best time that we played that song.
Yeah, I was.
I forgot the E-bar, right?
E-bar. Yeah, I think DJ Nelson from Toronto actually has that on, or Gary Geronimo from the Toronto Salsa Festival has that. They blew my.
It was awesome.
My head off. You're in a bar of 120 people, and one of the greatest.
Well, you know what happened? That I know George and all the guys. Then they agree. We, in my opinion, we are a very small group. When they try to spread the group all over the stage just to take more room and looks better from the crowd. Well, I mean, we're still gonna make it happen. But I think for me, we sound better, we perform better when we are closer, and the people are right close to us. That I can almost hear the people breathe. When I'm singing, to me that heat, that change from the dancers, people listening and singing, and us performing. Is priceless. It's nothing that you can ever replace that. So that's why.
Exactly.
Great. Agree.
Actually, Salsa Jim wrote in the chat that he has the live video of it at the E-Bar. So hopefully he can share that with us.
Awesome.
Jim, make sure you share that on your Facebook page in the next couple of days so people can see it. Okay, so
can we play this?
I'm going to do it right now.
Do it.
Listo. And somebody in the chat referred to this now as the chair song.
Aquí me encuentro yo contento porque eres parte de mí. A Puerto Rico yo le canto. Sí, esto es para ti. Es para ti, es para ti. Mi Puerto Rico, mi cantar es para ti. Nuestra familia ya está bien perdida, no somos de aquí ni de allá. Aquí me encuentro yo contento porque eres parte de mí. A Puerto Rico yo le canto, sí, esto es para ti. Esto es para ti. Puerto Rico del alma, esto nuevo swing te lo dedica a ti.
Puerto Rico, esto es para ti. Puerto Rico, esto es para ti.
Puerto Rico, esto es para ti.
Puerto Rico, esto es para ti. Puerto Rico, esto es para ti.
No hay cosa más linda, mira hermano, que levantarte temprano en una tierra tan hermosa como la es mi Puerto Rico querido.
Puerto Rico, esto es para ti. Puerto Rico, esto es para ti.
Nueva York es muy lindo, también a ti yo te canto. yo te lo Puerto Rico, esto es para ti. Oye la salsa del nuevo Swing Sextet. Y dice... Puerto Rico, esto es para ti. Puerto Rico, esto es para ti. Tu vida que bella es, tus playas son hermosas y tus mujeres son tan dulces. Puerto Rico del corazón, a ti te canto yo ahora. Puerto Rico, esto es para ti. Esto yo tengo Puerto Rico, esto es para ti. Aquí me encuentro yo contento porque eres parte de mí. A Puerto Rico yo le canto, sí, esto es para ti.
Look at Hong hogging all the photos.
Esto es
Send me some Facebook links of the photos you want to show.
I'm only
We'll
teasing you, buddy.
No, I'm serious.
I was kind of hoping Orlando was going to sing along on there, but he disappeared.
I did.
You have to go to the store.
You didn't hear me.
So that was 1978, right? George, 78. Last time
75.
you guys.
We recorded in 75.
Okay.
Yeah,
last time.
That's
that
how I remember
you,
because I was born in 75.
Wow, you're young. And after that, the band kind of disbanded. You guys went your own separate ways. Some of you went into graphic design, and George lost. And Angel did. So there's been some talk about this amongst, I guess, Hong and I, record nerds. Was Hector playing on this record, or he was just associated with the band at that time?
Associated. He wasn't on that record. No.
So he didn't actually play on it.
The actual percussionist was a singer, a gentleman by the name of Alex Diaz, who played bongos and sang lead. That's when we actually had sextet, 6 pieces, and
nice.
And then we expanded and added Hector playing bongo.
And that's kind of morphed into the Mambo Negro. When Joe brought that forward.
Before that, simply right after that session, we continued to do little bits and pieces once in a while. Nothing exclusive, but we would get together once in a while and do stuff. Then we finally came out of our hiatus and did a nostalgia gig in East Harlem that impressed a lot of people, impressed us too, and we continued on with that. Hector was already on that trip with us.
So 1975. I'm just trying to figure out the copyright on that. So it's 45 years.
Yeah, that would be 45 years. Yeah, but that there's no question on that. The writer that's on there has all the rights for that. We only had artist rights, so there's no argument on that.
Correct. George, you were going to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say that the reunion dance that Angel was talking about was actually I believe it was 1994 and we played that gig with Bobby Rodriguez y La Compañía. So that's the first time we had done any kind of gig, since 1979, I believe. And then, as Angel said, we were dormant for a while. That same organization that had that reunion dance in East Harlem that we did with Bobby Rodriguez, that turned out to be very successful for them. And then they had another event, I think 2 years after that, and we did that with Adalberto Santiago. So, and then, as Angel said, maybe we played one gig in 2 years or one gig in 3 years. We might have played at somebody's wedding, or we played at somebody's divorce or something like that. And, it was just over the next 10 years, maybe we played 4 gigs.
George,
So,
is
until
that
Henry
gig with Bobby Rodriguez was the gig where you told me Bobby said you were one of his influences and in heroes, like because of like you were playing clarinet, and that inspired him.
Yeah, he told me that. I'm gonna say I don't remember if it was before or after that, but we were both from East Harlem, so I used to see him all the time. And some place that we were at together, it might have been at a restaurant. My mother lived in. For anybody of your viewers who know, maybe a handful of them do, on Castle Hill Avenue in the Bronx. There's a great restaurant there, many great ones, but. One of them in particular, my mom, when I would come to visit her, I'd go to have some food there, and there were a lot of musicians in that area. I bumped into so many of them eating there, and one of them, I think, was Bobby. I think that's where we sat down for a while and just chatted and reminisced a little. And that's when he told me, he said, that when I started playing, you were my influence, because I played clarinet, and I was a decent clarinet player, and our school used to have a finale at the end of the school year called the Show of Shows, and the dance band would play and the orchestra would play and the chorus, etc. And I did this George Gershwin tune called Rhapsody in Blue, and so anyway, he told me that I inspired him, which was a shock to me. Bobby's such a great clarinet player. So I felt really good about that. If I have anything to do with his career, and real sweetheart of a guy.
That's an awesome story. I love that.
Yep.
And I remember talking to you about that when I was pulling together material for my Bobby Rodriguez tribute. So
Yes.
I'm glad we could kind of bring that story up on this show. All right, we got about 20 minutes, Gury. What are we gonna
Well,
do? with the
Salsa
rest
Jim
of the 20 minutes?
had a question. You gotta put Orlando's mic back on because he had a question. Salsa Jim had a question for Orlando, but he didn't get in. He wants to know how a professional baseball player goes to and ends up as the lead singer of the new Swing Sextet.
It was a minor league system. Wasn't some kind of how would you say? Team that was under the umbrella of the Pirates, but the music in my family, there's always been music in my family, and since I was a little boy, my mother used to have 14 brothers and sisters, and they were all musicians and singing in church, and they used to get together with 5, 6, 7 guitars and percussion. And since I was a little boy, when my cousins were playing outside, everybody thought that was a big party. That was only our family, but it was so big. And when my cousins were outside playing, I was just in the middle of all those uncles and aunts, singing in different voices and guitars, and they were such an incredible musicians. And to me, that was besides playing ball when I was a little boy, that was something that you always attract me to listen and try to sing. One day they were preparing for a show in church, and when they, I was in the back of the choir, singing in a very low voice, sitting down behind them practicing. And my aunt that was directing the choir, she stopped the rehearsal, and she said, "I hear a voice," and that voice was my voice. I was maybe 8 or 9, and then at that point she brought me up front, wanted me to sing, and people were saying you should look into this, in Spanish, and I can't perfectly translate what they were just telling me, but he said you should look into it. But I didn't think it was anything serious. When I was in ninth grade in Puerto Rico, in our prom, we were playing in Club Tropical was the prom, and there was a band that the piano player ended up playing for Bobby Valentin. And he invited me to sing in that group for the first time. And I sang Como un pronóstico del tiempo, bolero. And I was just, the guys in the classroom were telling me, go, 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 go. We hear you singing all the time at school. Go, 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 go. I was maybe 9 or 10 or whatever age it was. I forgot. So I went very first time on stage. And that's when, people asked for me to sing again. And that's when I kind of just say, well, I told my father, they want me to join this band, but I was underage. He took me to Villa Carolina for their first rehearsal. Then they said they wanted me to join the band, but my father refused to take me because I was too young, and he wanted me to be involved in that kind of a world of music and salsa, being a musician when I wasn't even in high school yet. So then after that, I remember my older cousin invited me to play in a band in California. And I was only 15 or 16, and my mother also refused to let me go. But I always wanted to say, man, I wonder if I can sing, like all those guys that I see on TV. So, after that, then, play ball and join the Army. And during the Army, I met a guy that I was just recording with, just a few weeks ago, and we put a band together. And then fast forward, I was invited to play to go. I rejected so many things, that I'm thinking about. I said, how can I reject so many offers? Rudy Haddock, remember Rudy Haddock? He invited me to sing for that band because he saw me performing. And I said, and he invited me once, and I never showed up.
That's crazy, man.
Never went. I said, and then I remember that he was asking other musicians, where is that guy? And that guy never showed up. Then Elias Lopez in Puerto Rico, I was invited too.
Another great band.
And I see those singers. I said, man, I could have just been singing, for years and years, and who knows. But and that, guess what? I didn't go. So because I was so into the baseball and stuff, I didn't pay attention to all the singing stuff. So then one day.
Hey, Orlando, sorry, just to pause. Jimmy's got to run, so let's say goodbye to Jimmy. Bro, thank you for joining the show. It was awesome.
It's great seeing you, Jimmy. I love you, brother.
Hearing from you. We'll see you soon, okay?
Yes, sir. To my stuff.
You need to call in, Han.
Take good care of yourselves, all right? We'll see each other soon.
You too, Jimmy. Thank you.
Pleasure. God bless everybody.
See you, brother.
Hey, and Jimmy.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, bro.
So anyhow, just I know you guys gotta go to them, so quick, the Marvin Santiago, that I know the guys, they heard me talking about this before. He saw me singing in Isla Verde, Puerto Rico, and I didn't know he was in the crowd. So I sang a song because the guy, my coworker that I was working there, they told me just go sing, and he was in the crowd, and he came to me in the dark. I remember just watching him coming to me from the dark, like where the light was, and I said, "Holy crap, that's Marvin!" And I said, "Hey, sing another one that one of my songs." He said, "Okay, I try." I went back and sang another song and ended up singing 2 songs. So he said to me, "I need you to dress black, go with me to whatever town fiestas patronales in Puerto Rico, and I want you to start singing with me, and then little by little you just want to start singing my song so I can get breaks." He invited me twice.
Wow, that's an incredible story.
And another one didn't show up. So then I joined the service and I started singing, with different bands, and then Texas, and I'm back, put a band together. I've been singing on and off with different bands and not taking opportunities of doing things. And that's funny because I think this is the first time that I'm going to say this. I put a band together, Caribe Mambo, in Connecticut, and that band was really hot in that state, and one day when I thought that we were doing the best of, the best that we could do as a band, that's when I met Angel. And I remember, because of the story that I just gave you guys, I remember saying to myself, you know what? How many chances I just, yeah, that one. How many chances I just turned down and I never take advantage of any of anything. Now, you know what? This guy wanted me to, sing with this band, the new Swing Sextet. Let me just go ahead and do it. And I did. It was hard for me to leave my band because a bunch of very talented guys that, that are playing now, like, Kilo, that made the arrangement for the song that I wrote on the last CD, Presume de Ti, and, guys like Jeremy Bosch, that's the lead singer now for the Spanish Harlem Orchestra. He played the flute with my band. The bass player, they're all top of the line musicians now. They were younger back then. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go sing for the new Swing Sextet. Angel invited me to his birthday party. I remember that was the first time, that I was there. Cheo Medina, that I respect and I love him as a singer and as a person, that was there. Frankie Vasquez was at the birthday party, and so many others that I got the chance to sing with them. And I remember after I sang that song, some of the people that were following the new swing, they said, you know what, that's like that. You match with that band. Your voice go with that band. I said, you know what, maybe this is something I need to do. I went back home. 2 weeks later, they called me to go to Montreal. And Angel was saying, do you learn the song? They said, what song? The CD you gave me, I'm not ready yet. So he took Willie Torres, I remember. And then the very next time, he said, well, just learn the music because I think we're going to need you because Cher's not doing very well with, health-wise. And I think we're going to need you. And I said, okay, these people, they're not going to call me, man. I'm not going to rehearse this stuff. I don't have time. Guess what? 2 weeks after that, he called me to go to Turkey, and that was my very first trip with Turkey. And then when I got back from Turkey, those guys, they put me on Lincoln Center stage with about 10,000 people looking at me. I said, what? That was back to back, and that's how I started. So I learned the music the very hard way, but it was a lot of fun. And to be honest with you, I'm listening to all the story, but I think I want to say that out of all the great singers that the new Swing Sextet had throughout the years, I've been the one that's been with the band longer, singing all those albums that you guys are talking about, even from the 60s now with Colombia. I think no one that's a lead singer been with the band longer than me. So, but it was my first time recording with them the last time. So
you went through trial by fire, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All those times, the first time recording on the last one. And this is a CD that people need to pick up at Full Swing. 2011 definitely went under the radar. Well worth picking up if you're a salsero.
Yeah, it's really nice.
I do want to give it a plug there.
Yes.
But Orlando.
That's my personal story of this great band. It's really easy to sing with a new Swing Sextet. I know Angel mentioned in the past about the horns. It's easy to sing. You don't force. I can go. I remember when we recorded this last CD, I was singing 6 days out of the 7 out of the week. We had 3 gigs plus I had to record in between the gigs that last CD that we did. So that shows you how easy it is for a singer to sing with this kind of band that you don't have to compete with the horns. So I went from Taj, no, it wasn't Taj. I was outdoors event in El Barrio to the Salsa Congress, then to Taj on Monday, and every day in between I was at the studio for 8 hours plus singing, and I recorded a whole CD in 3 days.
Oh.
Isn't that crazy?
That's interesting.
I could be bleeding and I still can sing. I love singing. There's nothing stopping me. The guys that will need you there, I'm there.
George, you want to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that everything that he said is 100% true, and he does fit. I mean, we've had some great singers with the band. We've been very fortunate, but his style does seem, in my opinion, to match perfectly with the style of the band, maybe because of the tenor of his voice. And the other thing I did want to say is that he was downplaying his baseball abilities, but he was in the Pittsburgh Pirates organization, and there's just so many people that go to play pro ball. So, even if you weren't a superstar or the top player of the day, just to make the pro leagues is quite an accomplishment. So don't let them fool you.
You know one thing, other thing that now George reminded me. I know he always say something. And I know you guys heard the story. I used to be neighbor with Joe Feliciano, right? So now this band, obviously, like the guys, I hear the guys talking about it all the time. They use Joe Cuba band as a mentor or model or someone to try to imitate, or in many ways, but creating your own style. So Cheo Feliciano is my idol. There's no other singer in the world that I have more respect and more admiration than Cheo Feliciano, singing bolero and singing salsa and his personality on stage. So I think it's because the tone of voice and Cheo Medina's voice is very similar. So I remember people thinking that I recorded that album, that it wasn't really me. So Cheo matches pretty much that kind of pattern of the new Swing Sextet kind of style and melody and that really nice and warm, sound to the dancers. So I guess maybe that's one of the reasons too.
Do you have any good stories of when Cheo was your neighbor?
Yes, I do. I
Share one good story.
I remember, we were just playing. We used to play in and out of the house, with his son Richie, and while breaking things and coming, because I remember the front door of his house. You open the door and then a couple steps later you can go through the sliding door to the backyard. So that was just like going around like a train. So I remember his mother, that now obviously I know as now Coco, was yelling at us. I mean,
his wife.
You guys are, you need to stop because your father is rehearsing back there, and you guys. She always kicked us out of the house, so to go play on the street. But then I remember listening to this guy singing. I remember go to my mother. I said, "Mommy, well, what is it? Why did he just, Richie's mom was just kicking us out of the house because." His father is rehearsing, and it's just, I wasn't owned, by, so, why did you go rehearse somewhere else, and whatever. So not knowing who I was just talking about. So my mother looked at me and she said, you know what? That is Cheo Feliciano, one of my favorite singers, Cheo Feliciano. At that point, I had no clue what she was talking about. So not knowing that later on, in life, not only I'm singing songs that he used to sing with Joe Cuba, but he singing song that we play, and this same guy that became my idol had performed with a new Swing Sextet in Europe and San Francisco and places that, to be honest, when I found
live
out,
next door to this guy.
Listen, I know. Not only that, I had a chance. So it didn't happen, but when I found out that they were going to be performing with Cheo, could you imagine that he can see me as a kid? I said, Cheo, remember I was at your house. Now I'm here with you in San Francisco. I was hoping to be the one doing that gig. But that would be a very special, and maybe we could even talk about it on stage. But I was always wanted to be on stage with that guy and talk about, wow, I used to run around your house. And now I could maybe sing one duo with him, and talk about that, because I'm sure that he remember all the crap that I did in his house. Well. So
what a nice man he was.
Yeah, very nice guy. So I'm feel really very lucky to be with this group, with this band, and I mean, they're a bunch of gentlemen and funny and professionals and responsible. And when you take the new Swing Sextet, you can count on getting the best out of a whole group. So, and that's what we do, make people happy.
That's definitely, Orlando. That's definitely one thing I'd like to leave people with. If you are booking a salsa event and you want live music, what you said is exactly right. Very professional, the whole organization, easy to deal with, and phenomenal on stage. Great interaction because of yourself, Angel, George, Jimmy, the entire crew. I mean, no better words can be said about an organization than that. I mean, if you're looking to get,
thank you.
book a band that is going to make your event better and easy to deal with, these are your guys.
After COVID, every promoter in the world, bring the new Swing Sextet to your city. Doesn't matter where it is. They're going to be on tour for like a year or maybe 2 years.
And you need DJ Hong and DJ Gury as DJs as well. So
yeah, that would be nice. But
hey,
most
some of
important,
some of the most special moments. Hong, I remember when you took us. You spent the day with us after we played the Saturday gig, and you took us to eat at Fisherman's Wharf, and you took us to so many nice places, and we finished it off with dinner at night. What a beautiful day that was. I mean, and it felt, it was so nice that you just took the time, along with Chino and Felipe, to really kind of show us the town. And the same thing when we went to
it was a pleasure.
Canada. I mean, I remember the places that Gury took us to have lunch. I think that you took us to a place where I know you're a beer guy. What a nice restaurant, And then when we went to Colombia, and you guys graciously invited us to your home there, and
that was awesome.
The spectacular scenery, the mountain behind the house, and it was just a wonderful experience. The friendships that you make through here are more valuable than anything else.
And exactly, that's the most important.
Agreed.
The most important is the friendships.
I bet to be ready to get fired from my job when the musics are back up.
That's right.
Get ready. I was talking to Valentina / Valeria, and our 20th wedding anniversary is coming up this August. And I'm really hoping that this stuff is over, so that we can, host a private party with a great band. I'm not going to mention who they are, but I'm mentioning it to them now to keep August 9th available, and invite all my CoBeatParty friends. And we just got to make sure that this stuff is over and we're all back to normal and can hang out.
Absolutely.
I just posted the link to one of the New Swing live concerts in San Francisco, so please watch that. It's got great sound and nice close-ups of all the singers. Orlando is talking right in the beginning of the video. It's a nice video, so check that out. Okay, Gury, I think we're at time, man. I've actually got to run, so can we wrap things up?
Yeah, grab some. Thank you guys for joining us. Hong, can you cue something up to go out with?
I do have that song, La Rumba Se Acabó.
Oh, beautiful.
From the new album.
Guys,
thank you so much, guys.
Thank you. And George, you summed it up, right? The friendships are what's important. And thank you guys for being my friend.
After that, everything else is great.
Love you guys.
Who's that singing?
Son negritos Carolina.
Papi. Gracias, guys.
Thank you.
Los quiero. Chao.
Thank you, guys.
Abrazos.
Que se acabó. La rumba se acabó. Oye, la rumba se acabó, tú ves.
Stay safe, amigos.
Sabroso en la punta del pie.
Sabroso.
Que trae para ti el nuevo Swing Sextet. La rumba se acabó. En Nueva York se te formó el bembé. La rumba se acabó. Bueno, muchísimas gracias a todos por siempre estar apoyándonos y bailando con nosotros por más de 50 y pico de años y mantenernos siempre con ese amor tan lindo que tienen todos ustedes para nosotros y nosotros para ustedes en la cima musical, caballero. Gozando. No me pare el coro, que el bailador no baila, mira hasta al revés. Con el nuevo swing lo vacila usted. Oh, no. No me pare la música que está la gente gozando, palito. La rumba se acabó. Dale con sabor, para que la gente siga gozando, mira. Para el bailador, Palito Rodríguez, en el vibráfono. Pa' que goce, negra.
See you guys.
Bye,
Hi, Orlando. George, you're soloing.
This is the calmest I've ever seen him during a solo.
Solo in his sleep.
Escuchen esto, mira. Representando a los cueros del nuevo Swing Sextet. Asamblea de cuero desde Fajardo, Puerto Rico. Jimmy Figueroa.
Yeah, we don't have Jimmy to do an air timbal solo. All right, guys. I think se acabó. That means the show's over. Gury, I think, went to... Oh, wait, is Gury running back? Gury had to go to the store. He thought this was the extended 12-inch remix of this song. It was the radio version.
Who plays the radio version? Come on, man.
You made it back in time, though. Anyway, we want to thank George and Angel and the rest of the band for being. We've been here for 3 hours. Can you believe it? It just flew by.
It's almost like a car ride to Ottawa.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
That's right. Halfway there.
So we'll do this again, but we want to wish you guys a happy holiday season. You know, stay healthy, stay strong, so that we'll do this in person for real soon. But even before we get together in person, we'll do another. We want to do another one of these like hangouts, and just hang out with you guys and share music and stories and laughs and all kinds of stuff.
It was really good. It was really good. Thank you guys for doing this. Thank you for keeping this music alive. You guys, us as the musician, but you guys as the DJs is what we can hang our hats on. So really,
we keep it going for you guys. So we wouldn't be here without you guys. So thank you so much for your music.
Actually, right now, in truth, vice versa also.
All right, abrazos. Say hi to Miss Chloe.
I will. I gotta take her out. So.
You gotta take her to the store.
I gotta take her to the store. Yeah.
All right. Say hi to the family, guys. I love you guys.
All right, guys. Thanks all. Bye, everybody. Thank you, CoBeatParty. Thank you, everyone who listened. And
Who's
we'll
up
see you
next
soon.
on the CoBeatParty, huh?
We actually have a short break, and then we have DJ Remy coming up in about 40 minutes. So
perfecto.
Cool. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Cheers. Bye.